Welcome back, boys and girls. CyberPowerPC Extreme Series second semifinal between OpTic Gaming and the Misfits. I kind of like their new hashtag. Maybe I haven't read it in such a long time over on social media, but it's hashtag Greenwall versus hashtag The Herd. First off, Scrawny, how has your weekend been so far?
My weekend's been pretty good. Obviously, we got some casts in you and I yesterday, Vans. Got that
Yep.
BO3 with Dust as well. Did some streaming, played some games. Just been kicking it pretty much.
Nice, man.
Yourself? You were busy last night, weren't you?
Yeah, really good too. So OpTic versus Torqued, actually very easy series for OpTic, 16-8 and 16-6 respectively, if I'm not mistaken. And that was on Overpass and also on Cash. Of course, those maps were flipped. So Cash was the first match that they played. After that, it was actually Nuit Blanche in Toronto. So I got to hang out, see the art installments out in the streets of Toronto, and then just had a good time, you know. Now I'm here getting ready for this semifinal to see who will face off against the Renegades in the grand final. So before we actually started the show or any of the casts, Scrawny, you said that it was going to be an OpTic versus Renegades in the grand finals. I thought it was going to be a CLG matchup. It looked pretty close on that first map on Train, but unfortunately things have changed quite drastically for CLG's fate on a map like Inferno, which is, I think, the first map that we will be casting between OpTic Gaming and Misfits 2.
Yeah, exactly. So this series starts off on Infernos, which will be cool, right? Going into the grand finals, knowing that Renegades played this quite convincingly, we'll get to see how maybe this team, the winner of this game, we'll be able to face up versus them. So it's like overlapping map pools kind of make this a little bit more interesting. You are correct in saying that you know, I had predicted the Renegades OpTic, and the reason I bring that back up is just because I would say that, you know, OpTic have yet to really truly been tested. They started off with a team that didn't even know they were coming into this event even 2 days before it, right? Torqued, who were that last minute swap up for the Immortals. And so when we take that into consideration, they did well. They did really well. They dispatched of Torqued as you would have expected them to. And then again, of course, that was versus a team that's nowhere near the caliber of like Misfits just yet. You could argue they have potential, but it's just not quite there. So Misfits to me is going to be a really exciting game. And if there ever was going to be an upset, I saw it being between, you know, Misfits over OpTic as opposed to CLG over Renegades. I thought the Aussies would make it.
So is this what you're expecting, or maybe what can you say about OpTic versus Misfits to think that Misfits might have an upset versus OpTic here?
So yesterday, right, we watched Alu just kind of go off on an individual level that was uncontrollable in terms of torque, whereby I think that Misfits have that same capability, although we don't see it as often. The two French players, Amanek and Devadovic, have the capability to just single-handedly carry games at like a North American Pro League level. Seeing as, of course, they're playing versus OpTic, they're going to have a very difficult job on that individual basis, but that's when we have a guy like Sean Gers to come in and try to, you know, control using tactics, using counter strats, etc. So I look at Misfits and I think like they have the variables that can win games. You've got yourself a structured in-game leader, you have yourself a very strong Opera and Shazam, and then of course you have that like ability to just pop off on rifles with the two French players.
Yeah, of course. And when you're looking at Devadovic and Amanek, you said these guys are like the guys that could carry the team. Do you think that maybe Shazam and Sick have fallen off in terms of like how much hype they've had in the past when they were playing in their respective teams? I think Shazam when he was in Cloud9 or TSM, Sick same thing when he was in TSM before coming into the Misfits. They had like their moment to shine. Maybe even before that. If I'm not mistaken, Sick even played in SKDC with Twists, or was that in Complexity? Either or. But everybody thought that it was going to be Sick and Twist, going to be the up-and-comers, the young gunners, and then suddenly it's Twist that joined Team Liquid. He gets all the spotlight, and now Sick is kind of like forgotten.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good point, actually, right? So that they were those two up-and-comers, and I would say yes. Maybe Sick has kind of, you know, fallen out of that spotlight per se. I think he definitely still has the potential though to play at that next level. It's just I don't think he's being prioritized in this particular lineup. Whereby I would argue that Shazam is actually It's game dependent, unfortunately.
Yep.
Consistency seems to be the issue, but I think he can still peak at a level that is, unprecedented with Shazam. I think that Sean Gares understands his talent and his ability to kind of fit into a more structured role when you need him to be there. Obviously, the Opera is always expensive. That makes them a risk, and Shazam can sometimes overcommit and try to make those big highlight reel plays that'll cost the team. But I believe that Sean Gares has the ability to like kind of rope him back in. Shaz understands that Sean is a real leader. He understands his potential, and so I think he respects him enough to listen when possible. I always think of like DreamHack Tours, which was the event, in my opinion, where we saw this Misfits lineup kind of come into that top tier NA limelight.
Yeah.
That's where they've sort of floated, right? We do look towards the Cloud9, towards the Liquid, and arguably CLG, but I think that if there's any other team out there that really contests that third spot as far as like predominantly North American players is concerned, it's definitely going to be Misfits.
What I find interesting as well is just before we got back on the cameras here, the Shazam and Alu face to face. We just talked about it a little bit here, but I think we look at the stats of what happened throughout the whole weekend, and Shazam's weapon of choice was the AK-47. So interesting enough, if he's going to be the opera for Misfits, he has still some comfort being a rifler in the past matches that he's played. That being said, though, you just mentioned it before, Alu also looked pretty strong with that AK-47 on that second map on Cash against Torqued yesterday too. So going head to head for both of these guys, for me, I'm gonna have to give it to Alu to take the upper hand. When you're looking at riflers, though, who do you think would be the one standing out really for both Misfits and OpTic, and how do you see them face to face?
So I wanna say it's gonna be Devin Duvik. I think he's a versatile player. We've seen him picked up all sorts of different weapons, and that's somebody that having watched certain games, and again, consistency is the issue. Having watched certain games where he just comes in like an animal and justifies being sent from France to the United States to play on this lineup, then I think that he really can kind of hit that top tier. Unfortunately, I've also watched games where he just is irrelevant on server. So that's one thing. And then on the opposite side, when we look over towards OpTic, I'm gonna say Mixwell is a rifler straight up. HS could be your rifler. Magisboy could be your rifler. That's the scary thing with OpTic. It can literally be anyone. We spoke of this yesterday when we started off with OpTic versus Torqued. We wanted to paint the picture of the potential upset, but then in reality, if OpTic decide to kind of perform to the level we know they can, they're just so much above and beyond that nobody can handle them. It's for that reason that they're first place right now in the ESL Pro League. It's for that reason that they've been able to squeak out so many wins. Despite close score lines, they have that ability to just close out games because there's depth to their lineup. And again, yesterday we saw Alu not only picking up the rifle, but also Mixwell. And that's the cool thing with this team, right? Is we have two players that have predominantly opt in the past, but two players that also have incredible rifle skill. The depth to OpTic is their strongest point. So I can't highlight a player on OpTic. I just highlight the whole damn team.
For sure. And just to let you guys know, I know everybody's waiting for this matchup to start. We're in the same boat right now. We currently have 9 in the server, only 4 ready, so still waiting on a 10th to come in. And that seems to be probably a player from Misfits here. That being said, though, we're just going to look at what we have going on for this weekend, because we are closing up very soon and ending off the weekend for the CyberPowerPC Elite Series tournament. Sorry. So we do have predictions that you guys can head on to their website and actually see and predict who do you think is going to win between Misfits and OpTic. Keep on doing your predictions, and actually if you get top 3, there's some nice swag to be given away courtesy of CyberPowerPC. On the other end, there is the regular raffles that we always have after every CyberPowerPC tournament. And that's some goodies from Western Digital and our friends over at SteelSeries as well. So big thanks to our sponsors to actually bring this up. That's going to be coming up in chat. So you guys can click on the links and see it over there. I should have closed my patio door, because I think at some point in this cast the cops might roll through, because downtown Toronto can get quite busy, but whatever, man. Whatever.
Yeah, just roll with it.
Yeah.
It's HS who hasn't showed up yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to throw him under the bus.
All right. Guys,
I think that's fair.
Let's just blame HS on that.
Yep. That's all we can really do at this point. He has just joined server the moment we mentioned his name, so that's just, you know, that's always how it rolls. And that's for, you know, that's another thing. If we were to say like, guys, we're gonna cut to a music break, the game would literally start at that moment, and we'd have to just reel it back in. So we've got 10 players in server. We've got OpTic now readying up. HS is immediately ready the moment he joins. So bear with us for probably what's gonna be like 20 more seconds. We'll get you guys in game.
That's right. And at the same time, even if you said we're going to play some music and then the match starts right away, sometimes that's what the chat likes too.
That's very true.
But we're not going to do that. We're just going to karaoke. So, Scrawny, you could start the first song, and I'll do the second one.
They don't pay me enough to sing into this mic, Vincelli.
I usually will just do it for free because I'm Asian. But it is not going to happen tonight. It's been a long night yesterday, and got a bit of rest, woke up, went to Wahlburgers, took a nap, and then back here again now.
That's a good choice.
It is actually a great choice. And then the grand finals is going to be happening tonight as well, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Stick around, tell your friends and family to tune in. There's really not much other CS tournaments happening this weekend, with the exception of E-League that pretty much concluded their group yesterday. Which, by the way, while we have time to talk about it, why not? What do you think about Heroic versus SK?
Man, it's boggling to me that Heroic actually were able to upset versus SK. What's crazy is that it wasn't just Anders, the, you know, complete Danish fanboy that predicted that, but James Bardolph as well had the prediction of Heroic and Astralis moving through that group. So, I mean, you know, I've always believed that Danish CS is the elitist CS. And man, even now with teams like Heroic stepping up, like that puts a lot of pressure on a team like North, to be honest, because Heroic also qualified for ECS. So, you know, I think that Yugi's an insane opera. I remember when he was picked up, I believe, from Tricked Esports. That was in the ESE Mountain Dew League, right? So like I saw that roster move and I thought, yeah, he's good, but by God, was he on a whole other level this weekend.
For sure. That's 3 Danish teams into the E-League playoffs. So that's Heroic, Astralis, and North. So very, very nice to see as that will unfold over in October on the first 2 weeks. But nonetheless, we are now live in the server on Inferno for Misfits versus OpTic Gaming. So Sean Garrett, Shazam, Sick, Amanek, and Devil Duvek for the counter-terrorist team. Meanwhile, for OpTic Gaming, the green wall, we have Freiburg, Magic Boy, Alu, Mixwell, and HS rather. And Scrawny, why don't you kick off here the pistol round?
The moment I get back into game, Vincelli, I'll do it for you, okay?
No problem. So we'll start off here. I'll start off for you. So we do have Sean Garris and his teammate now. That is going to be Sick, holding up on the B-bomb side. They do have a flower pot boost to go for a high-low, but playing that B-bomb side very passively. Meanwhile, Shazam's the one that's going to be scouting for information towards the mid side, and he starts off by getting gooshed and forced to fall back inside the A-bomb site. What I like about this right now is he rotates into a place that's safer. Amanek is now going to take the lead and going to be the spotter, but this time from the library side. But OpTic Gaming now moving up towards this A-bomb side, rather, on the porch side, also out from the halls, and Mixwell gets the first kill onto Shazam. But Duvek still inside the pit. HS trades it out.
So that's a man advantage for OpTic. Amanek finds HS already, so back into the 3v3, but there's no kit currently on the belts here for Misfits. Despite having all 3 players over on Arch side, Sean's going to start to push up towards mid. And with Alu behind this pillar, he could catch the headshot. He absolutely does. Down now to Sick on full HP. Amanek with a quarter. And a very patient positioning. Now 6 Gush down to 7. He's done. And as is the Misfits. OpTic to start off with the pistol.
Like I said, Shazam getting gooshed from the mid side made the A side very weak. And I think OpTic Gaming knew that. That's why they just streamed out quite fast from the porch side and the apartments. When you actually had the rotation that Amanek was going to move out towards the archway side and cover it from the library, well, at least porch side was a lot weaker. So Shazam fell instantly. Devaduvik had to play a big role inside the pit, but only getting 1 kill and so many T's still making it inside the A-bomb site for a pulse plant position. Very hard to retake, and an easy round there for OpTic Gaming. So in the second one, we do have an upgrade of 2 UMPs for Freiburg and for HS respectively, while we have rifles for the rest and slow control on the banana side.
It's curious to see no banana control coming out from Misfits. Sometimes those pistols like to push up behind the wood over by the sandbags, and instead Misfits seem content to sit back towards the CT spawn. Gonna boost Shazam onto the half wall, setting the crossfire with Sean Gares and opening up the possibility to allow Sick to rotate elsewhere. However, that's not the case. We've got Amanek and Devaduvic, the two Frenchmen, towards Arch, trying to deagle off. Frag grenade goes out. Very little damage done so far, as it looks like OpTic want to gear up into the A site. And if they were to just hit the truck lane, they're going to find zero contest towards this site.
That's right, because there's a stack of 3 people towards B. You do have Freiberg that's at the point that's really trying to aggress forward, because he's the one with the quote-unquote weaker weapon for the team. But Magis Boy already wrapped around, got the kill into Amanek, and that's exactly what you mentioned, Stronny. They are able to notice that the truck side is fully cleared. They're going to move inside the side right after by smoking library, and it's going to be now an easy plant with 5 guys from OpTic Gaming all over the A site.
Immediate call for the save on Misfits. Very important on Inferno to conserve your money. And we're not even talking gun rounds, right? It's just the fact that they get to keep the Kevlar and the upgraded pistols is fantastic.
A lot of money, man.
Yeah, money, money makes the dream work. So we could see next round them come in with these exact same pistols. Amanek shouldn't invest anything if they want to make sure that there's an op in play later on. And ultimately, we will get at least another opportunity for Misfits to use this force buy, right? There's no shame in, after losing one player just walking away. And even Shazam finds a frag. That was a dirty dig at a distance.
I want to know your thoughts as well as Scrawny, as now that ever since this quote-unquote Tech 9 has been nerfed, HS is able to get 1 kill, maybe 2, no, only 1. But ever since this nerf came in with the Tech 9, you saw a lot of CZs coming out, but at the same time, you see a lot of Deagles coming out as well. What are your thoughts of like using a Deagle versus the CZ on force buys?
So, when it comes to pistols in general, right? I just genuinely hope that with all the changes going around, Valve doesn't touch the Deagle. I think the Deagle just feels so good at this current moment, and I think the reason that we'll watch the Deagles and CZs come out like this exact buy is just because every other pistol has been nerfed. They've made changes, so whether it's a matter of like unfamiliarity, people not understanding how or when to use those weapons in particular, the Deagle to me is always comfortable, and the CZ is constantly deadly. I mean, high damage, incredible incredible tap ability. Distance is not nerfed whatsoever when it comes to the CZ, and you could argue the same thing with a Deagle, right? Like, you can actually pick players apart with those two pistols. Not in this round though. It's already going to be 2 kills going the way of OpTic. Sean Gares spams away to find the head of Freiberg, and that's something done, but yet again, the bomb's going to creep up towards the A site. They clear Devaduvic from Porch, and this is another round for the green wall.
It started off with a nice entry from Alu all the way up to middle, and again with the AK-47. And what I like about Alu is there's no burst, no spray. He really plays the tap. The tap game with the AK-47 as he picks it off, really trying to do the aim battle just like he's clicking the op. Playing the same way the Scream does pretty much with rifles, and it connects very well. Meanwhile, after that, you're just having the guys fall one by one very slowly. They lost Freiberg so far, but nothing big for OpTic Gaming again, because he only had a submachine gun. So that's not a big loss for them. They get a bomb plant on top of that, whoever the bomb planter is, that adds $300 here. But you're going to see that this full gun round might still be very low for the Misfits, while OpTic Gaming will have everything that he needs. But Shazam so far has been doing a great job with these exit kills, and he will be able to salvage an AK-47 on top of that. So that's going to help in the economy.
Perfect. Gets away with it. Interesting to see that no one from OpTic looked to chase him there and hunt him down. So that is 1 AK moving forward for Shazam. That's going to be nice for his money, seeing as, of course, that op should come into play in further rounds. But it's not just yet, right? We mentioned how Shazam has currently most of his kills this weekend with that AK-47. And it's a good thing he holds on to it and doesn't buy the op, because there's no op to duel off versus here for OpTic. It's a straight-up rifle buy. 10 players, well-equipped with both guns and grenades. And it's going to be an immediate Halls play over from OpTic, pushing 3 players towards the Molotov, which has been extinguished. Devaduvic towards Balk.
Again, we talked about the utilities. That's going to be very low. They're counting on the aim, and they just walk through the smoke. I think there was a little gap on that side where we were able to get the first spray onto Devaduvic, but he falls. But Amanek goes to work. That's 3, trying to go for the 4th. It's stopped by Freiberg. But you still have Shazam inside the side, battling face-to-face against Alu, rather, face-to-face. But it's traded back by Freiberg. He's going to have to try to clutch a 2 versus 1. Trying to pick up this AK-47, but spammed through the smoke. 6 going to take him down. And Misfits, what a hold there from Amanek.
Yeah, I was going to say, Devaduvic really almost just threw the ball. He goes for that wall spam on the bottom doorway, which is, used to try and catch players in the corner, which would have made sense had he done that while the Molotov was there. because obviously they would have been waiting. They would have had to hold back into those kinds of positions. But with the smoke being in place, the fire is no longer blocking T's, and we see what happens. He spams half of his 25 bullet mag, and then the moment he's down to like 10 shots left over, we get that, you know, trio of peaks from OpTic Gaming. If it wasn't for Amanek with a nice off angle inside the bomb site, A could have crumbled. We would have seen possibly a plant, but that's not the case. We actually get Misfits straight back with a win the moment they have guns. And of course, now we've got them in play. Shazam and Alu, double op, and Sick to start it off.
That's a great play. That was a pop flash coming in from Sean Garris from the coffins to give a chance for Sick to peek out. Mixwell is fully blinded. They're doing the same thing again. Could have caught Mixwell, but he did have help from Freiberg, who's trying to move forward and catch Sick falling back. But now he's made it back safely, still 100 HP. A smoke comes down as well. And now OpTic Gaming have to reassess where they're trying to take mid control.
Keep it going, Vince.
So that is going to be now HS moving forward. Alu's still with the op here. As that smoke's going to dissipate, they're going to try to take control of the arch side. Trying to sell this fake here, actually. If they could get this kill onto Shazam face-to-face, it's going to be a no-no. Shazam stops him right there from the library, and they were trying to go for this mid-to-B split that once again gets denied as they're trying to take control on this round. So 5th round underway. 3 guys will now group up with 33 seconds left on the clock to try to go just for a full plow inside the B bomb site. The thing is, though, Shazam hasn't rotated yet, so this could still be good for OpTic Gaming to overpower this B bomb site and get some good pulse plants. So we have to come up big. They spot Sick behind the fountain. Matches Boy gets the opening, and Sean Garris off angle on second oranges gets 2, and that's a 3 versus 1. At least to get a bomb plant, but it's going to be hard for Freiberg to try to hold this.
Especially with no utility at this point. He's going to go to the top side of the boxes. Shazam spots that over the lip of the smoke. So now he knows that, of course, Freiberg's yet to fall off. Amanek removed off of Banana. The spray for 2. Freiberg on the B site, locks down the bomb, and actually holds things off.
That was insane. I didn't think Freiberg was going to be able to get that, especially after he sprayed and had little bullets left with the remaining 2 players pushing forward as a team. Misfits played that perfectly. Getting the first guy out on a face-to-face, but the other guys were close for a trade, but they both peeked out, and Freiberg was just able to control both of those guys moving in, so a great clutch situation for him. OpTic Gaming basically resets now Misfits' position in terms of the economy, where they had to fall back with pistols again.
That's so painful for Misfits to have to deal with. I mean, you gate around on the board, and it's immediately reset. This is the kind of momentum that can just put OpTic in the driver's seat for the opening quarter of this map. And that's kind of what we saw versus Torqued yesterday as well in the first BO3 here from OpTic Gaming. Was every time we'd watch Torqued kind of find success, it was either reset immediately or just one round afterwards. Never did an economy or momentum start rolling the way of their opponents. OpTic have been in control of every map, of every game that they've played in this event. But we'll see if Shazam can get aggressive on arch side. Does spot the hands of Freiberg. Those hot hands with a 4K. Doubled back by Shaz. And the op of Alu able to drop him in response. So the T side still in control, but a beauty of a deagle there.
Dude, we're going to see a lot of highlight reels this matchup so far. So Amanek already, Shazam, Freiberg, and now the last 3 guys of OG moving forward. Mixwell very low on HP. He's the one that's going to be at the charge with the MAC-10. They spot Sean Garris. They're going to smoke it out. They're going to move in for the bomb plan. But already, you have Devil Duvik on a rotation at Banana. He does have the AK in hand. There's only one guy watching the flank, but he turns a little too late. The spray, though, actually puts him down. He keeps pushing forward. Bomb has been planted. Devil Duvik gets 2. Now it's a 2 versus 1 for Magis Boy this time to clutch. And they're coming in from the construction side and also from B main.
Very committed position right now for Magisk. Uses the pillar to block off Devaduvic. And he's counting on the wide swing. It's the headshot from Devaduvic to clutch out the round. So, Misfits actually bouncing back when they had very little to play off of. You have to immediately recognize the deagle there from Shazam. It sends OpTic scattering away from that A bomb site straight towards B. And Devaduvic just nails the timing. Coming in with that flank in a 2 versus 3, bringing it down to the 1 man left over. That's a saving grace of an outcome here in that 6th round.
And when Alu actually got tagged at first, he went from 100 to 90. But I don't think he expected that Devoduvic was going to hold that W or how close he was. Devoduvic was already close to that broken wall, or the outside wall of B. So it was easy for him to move in and get the backstab and actually catch the second player off guard, because it was too late for Alu to communicate that he was already getting flanked. But OpTic Gaming for this round, they realize their situation with the money. They're going for a force buy, but Shazam stops them in their tracks early in this round with an op kill towards mid. But they are focusing a lot of people towards this mid side to just take control of A. One guy watching the flank, which is Alu, but very aggressive plays for Misfits on the B side.
Frenchman setting up towards pit. Amanek helps out as Devoduvic gets the tag down. And that's the 2K already, but Alu chiming in with the Galil. As the T's starts to cross, Shaz gets pushed back, but he holds his ground. Finding another 2K inside the site. 3 frags for him in this one, and that is Misfits slowly but surely working their way back. And now, I was just mentioning how, of course, OpTic were in constant control, how they always had money, regardless of the map, and they've come into some untreaded territory. It is pistols for OpTic.
Yeah, you're really gonna see, I'm expecting, now after seeing these first 7 rounds, a very good game in our hands, possibly a good series too. This is actually OpTic Gaming's map choice as well, and look how well Misfits is playing it. So this is 2 nades to start things off on the banana side. Already Mixwell has fallen down. This is all pistols, no armor, with the exception of Alu that upgraded to a deagle, and they're gonna try to use this deagle to their advantage, but that is Alu on the mid side moving forward. Everything's smoked out. They're really scattered still for OpTic Gaming, trying to see where's an opening, what can they do really, and the bomb is just making a lot of noise. He dropped the bomb towards the hallway side. I'm pretty sure I heard that, but I wonder if it was a fake, because you see a couple of them fall back here towards this banana side. No, they're going to regroup back up towards mid, so they're going to try to fight this over, but there's a huge crossfire set up for Misfits.
Shazam's going to afford himself a bit of space, pushes up as the Molotov burns, and holds OpTic back. Sick. Firing off through the smoke and doing a little bit of damage. I mean, it's a matter of time before OpTic will just try and commit, catching players off guard, but Shazam's having none of it. Finds the kill, falls off immediately so, and that's going to leave OpTic to just give chase here inside of mid, where Frybird finds at least 1 frag, and down to a 5th of his health, swaps to the Deeg. Not meant to be, as it is tied up at 4 rounds apiece.
Immediately backstabbed right after. So Shazam so far has been on point with the op. We haven't seen him miss yet, so this is going to be problematic for OpTic Gaming if they want to try to go for this op battle. Shazam, when he's on, and that's basically the name Shazam. When that guy in the comic book screams out his name, he's just unstoppable, becomes a god pretty much, and we're probably going to see this throughout this whole series. It's now tied 4-4. There's not enough economy for OpTic Gaming to go for an op for this time, so Alu will have to revert back to the AK-47, but it's going to have to be an AK versus an op that Shazam's not missing. Very tough for them to take over. But they're looking to change the pace a little bit for OpTic Gaming. At first, it's trying to just set up and go quickly out towards this mid side to take control. But Misfits always use the right moments right now to throw their mollies and their smokes. But you see them. They have a bit of control towards this mid side. They have to fall back because everything's smoked out. They're going to have to try 3 guys working towards the hallway to try to open up the A bomb site. But look at that minimap. There's actually 4 guys from the CTs already stacked up inside there.
It's going to start off with a trade frag fast. Devoduvic gunned down as Mixwell falls into the site, but Sick takes 2. Now it's up to the player on site. It's Sean. Oh, with a deagle up close. Takes the head of Madness, goes back to Alu, and another clutch round here for Misfits. As it is Shazam, op in hand, rounding back the corner, swaps to the Deeg, and the timing almost works, but it's Alu with a headshot and OpTic back with a 1-point advantage.
So Alu with the AK versus the op, he wins that one, but it was a close range battle. There was no information there for Shazam. I liked how he threw that flash towards that archway side to make Alu guess that he might be coming from the library or the archway side. But Alu pretty much read that like a book. He was able to turn around, watch that angle, and see Shazam move up towards the truck side and win that 1 versus 1. Nonetheless, though, despite that, Misfits, because of that pistol round force buy that they won, they'll be able to afford another gun round here. But once again, very low on utility, 0 kits, so they have to win these fights heads on and not lose the fight or lose the site so quickly. Going
back for that mid control, not opting to push in through apps. But Mixwell chucks the bomb back. Freiberg extinguishes flames and will just keep moving that bomb backwards. So they've put Mixwell wrapping through CT spawn, caught off by Sick. And that's going to convince OpTic to reel out here. Because, of course, Mixwell is killed by that B-site rotator, they fancy their chances of heading to that site. And it's a great call here from OpTic. On point, as the entirety of Misfits are on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, you'll just see it. The last 3 guys at this point, they're just going to save. Once they hear that the bomb has been planted, it's been quiet ever since already, so they're not going to move away from this. You already see Sick rotating out from the library, and they're just posting up here on crossfires to try to save the remaining guns that they have. If you look at the scoreboard, the money situation, they bought all the way down to pretty much a 4 save on the next one. So being able to keep these 3 rifles if they can, OpTic Gaming on the other end, you start seeing them move outside of the B site and slowly creeping forward to try to hunt them down. But if they can't get any kills, this gives a chance for Misfits to go back with possibly the Deagles to play around these rifles that they save because they don't have enough money to drop. So Shazam with the Deagle, we've seen it before. They could maybe turn it around on the next one here. But the end of this round comes in the favor of OpTic Gaming to make it 6-4.
Starting to get their feet back beneath them. However, Misfits able to save with another 3-man core. So I think that Sean Garres is an in-game leader who understands the utmost importance of conserving economy on Inferno. I mean, it's always important to have guns. That's just a given. But grenades play such an important role on Inferno, just based on how much of this map is actually a hallway. Very tight lanes, very difficult to push past side by side. And so smoke grenades can block things off one at a time. Molotovs as well. And it's this boost over towards Banana. Alu gonna peer over the half wall, and Sick removes his head, falls back immediately so.
That's right, he hurt the scope, and even Alu was expecting somebody on the other side of that wall, but Six was just a little bit faster because of that smoke that was a little bit behind him. Maybe he was able to get a little bit more coverage before Alu could actually react. But nonetheless, that gives a call right now as these guys are playing aggressive towards Banana. Let's try to take mid. The bomb is still dropped intentionally though, so they're counting on Mixwell to try to open it up. So he's going to pick up the op. After Alu dropped it, they're going to go back and pick up the AK. He could juggle with both of these as they're trying to take this this Banana control. But you see on the other end, though, for Sean Garres and for Sick, they're playing a high-low just at the staircase, so they're really lined up to just fight them head-to-head. But if an execute comes in with flashes, they're going to get fully blinded. So they decide to fall back. Now mollies are being thrown. The execution comes in, but big pop flashes to try to hold him back. But Sean Garres still falls. Sick is inside the site, immediately drops at second oranges. Open up a site that's opened up on the B side for OpTic. They get the plant. And at this point, you see Devaduvic. He's going to fall back. Or actually, he's going to look for exit with his teammates to try to salvage a few more guns.
All they would have needed was a couple more kills there on the entry. Retake could have gotten rolling, but now it's made near impossible. Shazam willing to offer up his life. He only has that P250, so it'd be great for him to take someone with him. And Devaduvic a little more patiently is actually going to sit inside the church, but that's a second M4 here on Shaz. He's just going to wait for players to evacuate the bomb site. And eventually that comes. Freiberg goes down, and here comes Shazam peeking out, trying to commit there. Now it's on Amanek. Something more? Almost takes matches.
2 HP.
2 HP the difference.
I'm just trying to see if Devaduvic maybe should have played it more passively at this point to just try to save his M4. Shazam, after getting the first kill, trying to see if he should fall back towards the construction side, while Devaduvic could cover his back if anybody is exited from the CT spawn, so that possibly he could save 2 guns. Because, yes, they do have enough money to go for a full buy, but Devaduvic was all the way down to $4,100. So that means he can only afford a small armor to buy his M4. He does have enough for a utility, which is only going to be a smoke. But being able to save that rifle could have dropped it for somebody else, give them a little bit more utilities to work with into this round. Even if you look at that, how that pick happened after we see Alu moving forward up on towards mid, that smoke was thrown, and there was actually a gap on the left side that made it Alu, that helped Alu get an easier pick on from Mexican Pit over up on mid. So not having those utilities is gonna actually really hurt Misfits here on the defensive side.
Again, the nade execution comes filtering into the B site. 2 CTs are here, both of which are dead. Flawless execution once more here from OpTic. I mean, that's the name of the game in these last 2 rounds. It's just been a sheer mow over of anybody who's actually been in there. Meanwhile, Mixwell tries to get aggressive, holding on to the Mac 10, deals additional damage, but it's HS to clean it up, and Shazam all that's left. So OpTic just really starting to roll away with this T side. Remember, of course, they won the pistol and the conversions, and now they're getting the gun rounds to go with it. So there was a nice fight from Misfits. They get those 4 rounds to the board, but unless they get their legs back beneath them, it's looking like the green wall is charging straight forward.
That's right. And you saw it from how Misfit was trying to hold, or the Misfits were trying to hold that B bomb site. All they had was really that smoke. Sick did have a smoke and a flash as well, but as he's holding behind the pillar of the fountain, or just directly behind the fountain, he basically didn't have enough time to react to go for the flashbangs or anything like that to attack, because as soon as the smoke bloomed and that was thrown by Devaduvic, these guys already ran across for OpTic Gaming inside the B-bomb site. So there's not a chance for them to use the little utilities that they have. They only had the smoke, but they threw it too late. So there was no counter flashes from Devaduvic that he could have thrown from the back of the pillars to support Sick inside B, and that's how they get punished with this low economy. And they're going to try it again. They're going to go for another force buy here for the Misfits. They have a couple of smokes to work with just to run that timer down. But again, they only have 2 flashes for Sean Garris. And where is he right now? He's at B. That could maybe help out with, I think that's Shazam. Or no, that's Amanek playing inside B. But aside from that, they don't have any counter flashes to prevent any big pushes from OpTic Gaming on the A side.
Utility really has been an issue so far in these most recent gun rounds. I mean, we saw the pace of which OpTic were afforded to just run up into Banana. A couple of frag grenades, a Molotov, that could really put a dampening on those kinds of aggressions, but they just haven't had those utilities, those tools to play off of. The smoke grenade does plume this time round. Of course, that will push Mixwell into the corner. Patiently waits as the rest of OpTic head out towards A, leaving the bomb in mid. So clearly not looking to make a commitment just as of yet. They still want to find that 5v4. They want to sniff out if there's any kind of bomb stack. And that could be the case. But oh my goodness. Amanek's Deagle.
Good way to start. Good way to start as they have that 5-on-4 situation for Misfits, but now OpTic Gaming decides to move in towards his A-bomb site, and nobody's rotated from B yet for the Misfits. So this crossfire that they're setting up has to come up huge, but it's not. That's 2 guys down. Shazam playing it very passively and just the timing as he turns over. Matches boy drops inside the pit and kills him. Now the A-bomb site is open for business. Sean Garris at least salvages the AK-47 after Mixwell got headshotted by Amanek, and Amanek's going to look for the exits. So unfortunately, there was a great hold there from the B side, but the crossfire that they set up there for the Misfits, a little bit of a bait strat there for Shazam. He was trying to play that ninja spot, trying to catch him off guard if his teammates fell down inside the bomb site. But OpTic Gaming just came out from the right exits. They didn't stream out from one location. They really came out from the halls as well to really clear out the site before moving in for a plant. And that's how this round will end, with now a 9-4 scoreline in favor of OpTic Gaming, 4 of them exiting from the hall side. But I don't think Sean Garris is going to be anywhere close to be able to get some exits, but at least able to save his AK-47.
A little bit more to play with here in the follow-up round. Obviously, economy now full steam ahead, and that's how Shazam affords his op. But it's not going to come with much utility. Smoke grenade could buy the frag. He absolutely does. So double kit and another gun round here for the Misfits to try and make work. That's been the biggest issue, though. They've tried, and it just has yet to pan out. We've seen a lot of B aggression in these gun rounds from OpTic Gaming. That's the reason Misfits have crumbled, and then more often than not, the players on the opposite side either rotate too late or just go ahead and save their guns, trying to, you know, again, eventually reuse them. However, we've hit the point where you're running out of opportunities. There's 2 rounds left, 6 rounds, the absolute best scenario for Misfits. And if history repeats itself, then they're still going to struggle.
Sean Garris is playing it very, very aggressively. You see a lot of smokes and flashes being thrown on that B side, and he peeks out very often just to try to get that information. He's jumping a lot, making a lot of noise, but at least he asserts his position to say, look, we have an aggressive defense, try to move somewhere else, and try to push them towards this mid side, where they once again have a 3-man play, but very passive still, so they're giving a lot of leg room for OpTic Gaming to take this mid control one more time. And I think that's been the demise pretty much of their A holds. They're giving too much space for OpTic Gaming to go for a full execute from this truck and also the hallway side, because when they're clearing out the A-bomb site, it seems to be so easy for them.
First frag goes the way of Amanek, though. That's the pit still in the hands of the CTs. Shazam finding one as well. HS up next, able to catch an opening, but gunned down by the Opper in the backside of the site. Alu 1v4, not meant for much, as it is again held onto. So finally, Misfits find some footing towards that A site. They're able to get the opening kill into the 5v4, and then also just trade effectively out, only losing one player in the process. So very clean round there for Misfits. OpTic Gaming opting to go back to that A site have forfeited a round over, but that's the problem for Misfits. It's a round, singular. You know, since their little spree of 4, they've been empty-handed.
Yeah, I want to see how that round went down for the Misfits, because that smoke that was on top of that truck, I was wondering if it was a smoke from the Misfits that gave a chance basically for Shazam from his off angle that Amanek played on that third round. Gave him a chance to just op everybody out, because that smoke actually doesn't give him a chance to clear out A, and he could just pick out anybody that's jumping through the smoke. Nonetheless, though, this round here, nice pick by Sick. They salvaged that off from that previous round, and they're going for a double op setup that seems to pay off. So Sick gets 2 opening kills, and now it's an early 2-minute advantage with OpTic Gaming really trying to go quick on mid again.
First time we see the double op from the CT side. And it does pan out as Shaz plays passive on Arch, but offers himself up. He had just checked that cubby, and the moment he looks away, Magisk exploits it. Amanek on site, though, able to find the headshot first and foremost. HS trickles in as Freiberg goes down, and Misfits able to grab at least the closing 2 rounds. In convincing fashion at that, 4 players alive towards the A site.
Some great plays from Shazam and Amanek. I think that's probably the 2 players you really want to thank coming into the first half here for the Herd, so that they could actually get these 6 rounds, because it looked like OpTic Gaming were going to run away with this half. And again, 9-6 is not so bad, as they're going to move forward towards this this T half, where you still give a lot of freedom right now for the terrorist team to try to bring it back. Pistol round, of course, is very important, but even if they lose the pistol round, they still have that so much map control that they could take over to try to execute. It all comes down to, after that, the aim battles face-to-face. That seems to be a little bit more even than the matchup that we saw for OpTic Gaming and Torque yesterday. That being said, though, these guys are getting ready, so let's take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, the second half between Misfits and OpTic Gaming here on Inferno.
My name is Trick2G, and I use CyberPowerPC powered by Intel. Let's go!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Second half soon to start. Just waiting on 2 more to get ready. So this gives a chance for us to talk a little bit more, Scrawny, about this first half. So we talked about Amanek, we talked about Shazam, how they pretty much saved it for the team, at least in my opinion. When you look at the ADR at the end of the half, Sean Garris only had 30 or 40 ADR, but let's not take away anything from the in-game leader. He was forced in a lot of situations where he had to rotate and try to retake towards the A-bomb site where they couldn't win rounds. But even then, when they tried to execute towards B, it was a little bit weaker and easier for OpTic Gaming to take over.
Yeah, so we see this T side start off obviously with OpTic getting their pistol, converting those points. That's immediately done and over. And then they were trying to get into that A bomb site once they got to the gun rounds. And it was there that Misfits started to string some rounds together. Never did we really watch OpTic get up truck lane. Arch worked out once or twice, and they even tried to throw in like a dedicated balcony push from time to time. But when they went to the B site, that's where we saw convincing executions. I mean, they were using that Molotov set piece to clear out the orange box, clear out the back hall, and then every time they went there, it seemed to just immediately roll their way. Eventually, despite winning rounds at the B site, OpTic decide to go back to A, maybe just trying to keep things fresh. And it's there that, again, we watch Misfits put up the defense and with convincing holds. I mean, again, 4 players alive at the end of each of those 2 rounds. So B was OpTic's all day long. And yet they wanted to conquer the A site, and Misfits were having none of it.
So a really decent matchup so far for Misfits and OpTic Gaming. They are currently number 1 and number 2 seed for the ESL Pro League for OpTic Gaming and Misfits respectively, where now it's basically the battle of the quote-unquote top North America for this season to see who could actually take over this matchup and pretty much set the tone for this online tournament for CyberPowerPC Extreme Series, also hopefully for ESL and any other online events that they're doing before they meet up face-to-face online again. That being said, though, this round is already on the way on pistol with Alu looking towards the mid side. He spotted one heading towards the halls, but probably never noticed that there was more heading towards the banana side because nobody was really watching mid for OpTic Gaming. So as they get an opening pick onto Mixwell, everybody's now falling back towards this mid side to take over A because that's Amanek that got the first, now the second kill onto Alu, and that A bomb site is now up for the taking.
Yeah, Sean just throws out a smoke grenade that's going to block off library, so HS is forced back into the bomb site. An instant flood of terrorists overwhelms him, and we have what looks like a clean sweep in the pistol. Magisk and Freiburg tasked with one hell of a retake, 2 versus 5, while they have the flashbangs, they've got the kit. It's going to take tremendous kills to really get this rolling. And especially since they're coming in from both sides, they're going to have to hit shots individually on their own. So no trade frags really in this moment, and there we have it. Only Shazam swept under the rug. It's Misfits with 4 at the end of the second pistol.
A little bit of a waste of money as well for Freiburg because he had 2 flashes and never used them. 2 flashes in a kit, never gave a chance for that 2-man retake. I know it's really hard to do, but they can leverage those flashes to try to open up the A-bomb site for at least some kills or some trades, and then try to go for that clutch play. That being said, though, what are your thoughts, Scrawny, about how aggressive they tried to take information on that hall side against Amanek instead of really playing angles on pistol?
Yeah, Amanek played a really gimmicky angle. Just sitting outside the doors in like one of the unexpected corners. So I think that it makes sense to push Alu in a 4 versus 5. You realize that eventually the terrorists in a pistol round are just going to group together and Glock train their way into a bomb site. So Alu wanted info, and instead he took a bullet to the head. Instantly putting it down to a double man disadvantage, cutting off the CT side and really forfeiting the pistol over. You know, it's one of those moments where if he pushes up, gets the kill, finds the info, and swings back the round, he looks like a genius, but instead he just looks like a dead log.
And it starts off with Alu dying early in the round from the hands of Shazam, 12 HP remaining for him. You saw how aggressive Freiburg and Magisk Boy were trying to hold that banana side, really trying to spam those first bullets, and everybody now falls back inside the bomb site. The thing is, though, Misfits still have 3 guys posted up on the banana, and really counting on the MAC-10 of Amanek and Sean Garris, who also has a MAC-10, to try to find that information. So they're moving together towards the archway side. Mixwell does have the scout, connects with the first shot, gets the kill, and now they're going for a mid to B split. Amanek's on the other side. He gets the dink onto Mixwell, who's trying to fight back with the P250, but now the B bomb site is about to move to get planted on, I guess, and OpTic Gaming are still stuck inside A because of Amanek still in the spawn.
One of those moments, just like in the first half, where you know Misfits are in a position to Misfits were in a position to just call the save with the little that they held on to. And OpTic, seeing as it's a 3 versus 3, might actually fancy their chances. They're not going to have that kit to play with, so they'll have to commit quickly. 2 MAC-10s and the single scout on Mixwell. Very tough position for them to be in, especially now as Magisk Boy is taken care of. Sick hits the headshot, Shazam follows suit, and HS goes down. So had they saved, they would have had some tools to work with in the following round, but it's going to be OpTic with a full save as they'll cultivate their economy.
Yeah, you saw that even though they picked up the MAC-10s, they really wanted to count on the Deagles because MAC-10 long range is utterly useless. So they really wanted to count on trying to get those highlight headshots with the Deagles to open up the B bomb site, but Misfits played those angles very carefully and didn't give as much information or try to get that information by body peeking out, wide swinging, because they knew that Mixel had that scout. So they waited for Misfits to move forward for that retake, and it was an easy post-blind position there for Misfits in the end. So they win the pistol, they win the second round. Technically, you'll see it here. It's going to be a full save for OpTic Gaming, but little did they know that it's 5 guys lined up, but counter flashes are coming through. 5 guys are fully blinded, so they really couldn't stream out towards this banana side, and now it's just a train of terrorists moving forward, and Alu was stuck inside the site on his own right after that. Look at the amount of bodies that are just at the entrance of Banana that never made it out to actually bring a face-to-face fight against Misfits.
Yeah, that was a greatly timed flashbang. You know, those kinds of moments always make me really nervous. When you know, of course, that those pistols can just swing wide, offset a crosshair, force some kind of a gunfight that, you know, can cost Misfits a life or two. Which is really all they're hoping for, really, OpTic.
Yep.
And in that situation, the flashbang cut the CT side in half. 3 players don't peek, 2 instantly die, and then it's the cleanup once they figured out what was unfolding. But now it's OpTic with some guns, and this is where we started to watch them turn things on last half, was inside of those gun rounds. Of course, still no op, interestingly enough.
No money.
Yep.
But yes, indeed, no ops, at least on Misfits' side. Because they keep that MAC-10, so sort of a bonus round right now for Misfits. I mean, they do have a lot of money with the exception of Sean Garris, only at 1,800. But they're okay to buy onto the next round should they lose this one here for OpTic Gaming and then reset it back again. Because OpTic Gaming, this gun round here is very crucial for them. They lose this one, they're going to be back on another save if everybody dies here at this point. So now it's going to be Misfits taking control of this mid side. Sean Garris trying to move forward, and they're going to clear out towards the archway side first. It's smoked on the right, so they're really pressing up to try to clear up this this left side of the A-bomb site before actually committing into something. You can still play fakes here if they want. You can see that bomb slowly walking back.
Promise there's been no pressure applied to the top of Banana from either team in a decent amount of time. So there's been no reason there for Magix to actually fall off. He decides to commit fully, sits on the CT cross, and after that array of nades, Misfits double back. They are just going to hit the A site head on. 5 players about to commit, 1 inside the apps, 4 on truck. There's the swing from Alu. He takes 2, and Shazam's able to stop it then and there. Mixwell in the site, dropping bodies. He takes 3. Excellent headshots from OpTic as Misfits throw it away.
That really looked like a source play there from Mixwell on that 3rd kill, just holding that W and spraying down as much as he can, and actually lands a stray bullet in the face of his 3rd opponent. But then again, it is very close range, so it's okay to do that. And they had a great crossfire setup with HS playing that bait spot by the truck side under the balcony. That being said, though, it did come down to Alu with that wide swing to get all that information to know that it was an actual fake towards the B side. But when that fake was thrown from Misfits, OpTic Gaming actually didn't even budge. It seems like they expected that to happen.
Sick just gets naded to 52. Pulls out his frag grenade, throws it back at Freiberg, and then he goes down to 58. They're just trading nades, and oh my god, look at this damage done. Magisk, still on the cusp of Banana, decides to fall back now, but if only they realized how much damage those 2 frags did.
That's it, but from that damage from the grenade, you saw that the 3 guys on the Banana side from Misfits really said, alright, this area is yours, we're going to fall back and reassess again. They really didn't want to bring the fight, they thought they were going to get caught off guard, and look the amount of utilities that are still being thrown here on OpTic Gaming side, but Shazam fully blinded, counts to like 2 and gets the kill, but then Freiberg retaliates again by spamming through the smoke and taking down Sick and Sean Garris. So immediately, the advantage comes back in the favor of OpTic Gaming, with Misfits now saying, alright, well, let's try to go towards the A-bomb site, but there's still 2 guys there playing. That's Mixwell, headshot into Devoduvek, traded back by Shazam with the op, but now that information's given away. You have 1 guy rotating back from the CT spawn, 1 guy about to flank, and now the last 2 guys moving forward from truck side.
It's all on HS, holds the cross, and he sprays, but it doesn't connect. Aminex saves himself as he sits to 12 health with the bomb on site. Clears the corners, and Freiberg wants to split this, because again, that flanks inbound. It's Alu with a full bar, Molotov, and flash. He's just gonna creep in, catches Amanek, but he reveals himself, and he doesn't get anything for it. The Molly doesn't go in, and now Freiburg has to clear it. Finds the headshot, now he needs to find Shazam. He's hiding behind the boxes. Oh, up close, Shazam with the op, and Misfits another round.
The 4K as well for Shazam, and that was unfortunate because I'm 100% certain that Alu hurt the scope on the truck side. He knew that nobody was watching towards that balcony side, and it's just a timing. Because Amanek, who was on top of that unorthodox box, should I say, pretty much dropped in as soon as Alu was about to shoot. Now his position's given away, and that was it. It was just a poor, unfortunate timing for OpTic Gaming where they couldn't win that 2 versus 2. So a great play for the Misfits in the end after the mistakes on the retake for OpTic Gaming slowly unraveled.
Yeah, that Molotov would have been a game changer. Had Alu, you know, threaded the needle and got it into the corner, then that player burns alive. Freiburg's not going to be fixated in the back of the site, and all of a sudden you can, you know, focus down on Shazam instead, who would have been overwhelmed. He had the op. What's he going to do against 2 targets? But ultimately, that's not the way it goes, and now we're in a tied ballpark. It's 10 rounds apiece, everyone towards double digits, and despite this just being pistols for OpTic, they've still found a 4v4.
That's right, and everybody's already rotating back towards the A bomb site. The bomb is walking back towards the bottom of the mid, so really Devoduvek's trying to clear it up, trying to get this information again. But it starts off with that Deagle from Freiburg getting that opening kill onto Sean Garris before, just after Mixwell fell. So this 4-on-4, but Misfits will still commit towards this A bomb site. So they smoke out Library, they smoke out Arches, they're going to wrap around, and now can OG hold this with their crossfire setup now at A. That's Alu and HS matches point. It is. The crossfire is perfect. Now it's a 2 versus 1. Sick trying to move forward, but HS in the corner redeems himself after that fail of a whiff that he had that previous round. And OpTic Gaming on a pistol round once again will win it against Misfits and reset their money. So now
That's
OpTic
incredible.
Gaming. Okay, you're back. You're back. You're back.
Yeah, I was holding down B instead of V, which would be my push to talk, Ben. So,
Nice.
so I'm still here. Don't you fret.
Thank you.
God damn, what a round just now. That's the kind of moment that then just like puts this one straight back into the pockets of OpTic. And we watched that happen yesterday versus Torque, right? Torque would have a momentum. They'd be able to actually create an upset with a pistol round of their own. And then when you think OpTic are out, when you think they're going to forfeit one over, that's when they close the game. Which is incredible to think, right? Like, those are the types of rounds you're never supposed to lose. And yet, here you have it. All of a sudden, though, we've got pistols just gunning themselves up arch, up in the hands of Sean Gers, who could throw this over, but instead he takes Magisk. And now, a 2-man advantage. Doubling down on the A site is OpTic. They're getting their players out. However, it's been heard. Amanek, he could call for the T's to come back here, because Freiburg's going to look to hold off on B. He's bought in time with that smoke, but now Mixwell finds Amanek watching their back, and Freiburg has to come up big. 4 terrorists here. Flashbang to the feet, buys a little bit of time, and they're just going to bypass him by walking straight towards site.
That's right. They know that he fell back towards the construction side, sorry. Amanek, when he died, saw that there was 2 guys on the mid side, so they could move in inside B. They get the bomb plant at least, but now it's a retake, and Mixwell is now the last man standing on a 3 versus 1. Now, bunch of guns have been picked up, so that's 2 M4s for Sick and Devoduvek and the AWP. Sean Garris didn't throw it to Shazam because he was an Opera at some point in his career for Cloud9 as well, and for previous games or teams that he's played for. But just like that, the tides have turned. OpTic Gaming, who got the reset against Misfits with basically no armor pistol buy, is now answered back by Misfits with the same type of buy. No armor at all, and they're going to win this round here. Mixwell just trying to look for some exits to try to make it a little bit more expensive for Misfits on the next round, but they will salvage the 3 guns and a round on top of that for the Herd.
Wild. I mean, we literally say you're not supposed to win these rounds, and it happens back to back. So any ground that OpTic had made based on their pistol round win was now just lost by Misfits doing the exact same thing. We have an incredible game on our hands, Vincili, because obviously Inferno is the map choice of OpTic, and if I'm not mistaken, Misfits actually holds a recent win over OpTic on Cash in the ESL Pro League. That's a map that OpTic have shown weakness on so far, as far as their pool is considered. And so, hey, if Misfits can run away with this momentum, if they can actually convert a round and not lose back to a force buy, if that's what OpTic decide to do here, then we've got ourselves not just a map, but a series.
That's right. Again, you're looking at the scoreboard now. Amanek still at 102 ADR, Shazam still in the 90s as well, so they're still playing their part here as the match continues. But I got to give it over to Devaduvic as well, that has had a few good rounds for the team. Sick and Sean Garris basically playing the support roles on his B side so far, and you mentioned it before. You really want to have Devaduvic and Amanek trying to pick it up a little bit and carry Misfits as they're trying to move forward to get these entries, and it's working out well. And Shazam, he's just had to be on point with his op. He has been. On the other end, though, OpTic Gaming, they do have a tactical pause so far because they have no money right now. They're trying to figure out how they want to buy this because they were able to save an M4 on top of that. You could see it now. They're actually going for a full buy, buying very low into a sense that, well, I guess you still have Alu only going for the CZ and small armor. Just trying to build that economy up in the next 2 rounds. But I wonder what type of conversation is going through for OpTic Gaming right now. How do they want to play around that M4 that was saved by Mixwell, and how do they want to play it forward against Misfits, who's slowly trying to build up that economy since that eco that came through 2 rounds ago?
So they opt to put both of the primary weapons into the A site. That's the UMP of HS and the M4 on Mixwell, both pushing up through apps. They're going to play proactively at this point, seeking some kind of a fight, something to work with in the round, as the damage has been done by grenades already. But it doesn't stop Amanek from finding himself the first. The next frag goes the way back of the CT side, and we are into a 3 versus 3 here. Alu still sitting inside the site. T's about to trickle in, and he pushes inside the smoke. They know it, though. He makes noise, and it costs him. So OpTic, with the 2 guns still standing, come back for the retake already. And Mixwell, setting a very fast pace, gives no space for the after plant. He charges up, takes the fight, and it costs him, as HS can trade it, but now to the 1v2. Player straight beneath him. Checks the corner. Sean's down, but Shaz saves the day, and Misfits convert their point.
That was very close. And this full gun round that came through, I think it was a little bit of a mistake there that you saw from Mixwell's point of view. I like the intention that he was throwing that flash on the, or should I say the smoke on the ground, maybe to just stick it right away or go for a fake, force them out of position, and go for a double retake with Mixwell and HS on a double peek on the water side. But he actually peeked out before the smoke even bloomed, and they already spotted him. And at least he found that information. One guy heading towards Emo or so. Let me just talk about that a little bit later, as they're actually going for an aggressive push down towards the mid side. They do have a little bit of kills here. They only got 2 on that full save coming through, so more econ damage being done, but the economy is already built up on Misfits side. At least from OpTic Gaming, from that full save, you'll see this full gun round coming through. It's only 13 to 11 right now in favor of Misfits, so they don't really have that that stress yet that the map is basically on the line for them, and this is their map choice on that 13-11 score.
And again, recent losses from OpTic on Cash, they have Renegades, who holds a 16-8 victory over them, and Misfits, who holds a 16-10 victory over top of them. There was even moments yesterday where Torqued looked like they could have picked up, if not the map, at least more rounds. So OpTic, obviously, they're the type of team that's not going to worry about the second map just yet. They still have ample opportunity to turn this one around, and that's certainly going to come in a round like this, right? We see them back in with a buy, op in the hands of Alu, and then the 4 M4s across the board. It's of course been 3 consecutive rounds for Misfits, but it's because we had that back and forth economy battle by the force buys. Now things have stabilized. Now it's OpTic's opportunity to get their legs back beneath them.
There was a lot of nades being thrown, utilities at the beginning of the round towards the banana side, but it's going to be the Misfits creeping up slowly so far. They do have the boost on the top of the flower pots, and that's going to be Matches Boy. So that smoke's going to come across. They have to check that corner. If not, Matches Boy can make it very deadly. But his teammate Freiburg fell down, so he gets the first kill, trying to spray for the second one. The bomb is down. Sick trying to move forward. There's a molly that comes through, and he just runs through it, and he dies. So that is actually Freiburg on his own dead, still gets a kill, and helps his teammate Matches Boy to hold the B-bomb site.
Now it's all down to this 4 versus 2. Shazam's all alone, still able to catch Magis, but he needs to reload. And down he goes. That's Misfits to now stagnate, because OpTic with a hell of a hold. I mean,
you gotta hate running out of bullets with an op. It's very rare that it happens, but when you're in a clutch situation and you have no bullets left, unfortunately it's the longest reload after like the M249 to actually bring it back, but quite unfortunate. Great hold at least for OpTic Gaming though, Scrawny.
Yeah, what's unfortunate is Sick just, you know, self-emulates.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, when you're in those frantic moments and you're attempting to entry in the bomb site, you think to yourself, like, get in before the rotation arrives. But he just tries to force it a little too hard and, well, burns to death.
Yeah, and I don't even think there was a pop flash that was actually thrown. He didn't run into that site blinded. So that's the interesting part about how he basically sacrificed himself and helped OpTic Gaming win that round. Unfortunate for him. Shazam on a 4 versus 1, nothing he could do. But aggressive plays from OpTic Gaming so far. Oh, a spam coming through. But it's retaliated back from HS. Devin Dubik falls. Amanek moves forward in HS as he falls back. Gets his second headshot onto Amanek. Saving Mixwell back inside the pit. And it's now a 1-minute advantage for OpTic Gaming. That was insane how that trade happened.
That's incredible. He spams the wall. You think he's going to find his frag, and then instead, HS comes up big, doubling in with both. And now, Mixwell boosted to the half wall. As Sean drops him, HS will retreat. 40 points of health in a 2 versus 3 that favors OpTic Gaming. They've rotated Freiburg off of the B site. He sits inside Library. And meanwhile, Magisk, he's going to long spot on the top of Banana. So this is so much information for OpTic to work with. What it'll come down to is timing. If Sean Garris can peek out from apps and find himself an entry, then all of a sudden, we have a potential bomb site falling to the hands of the T's. But the problem will be HS fully committed inside this corner.
Garris is going to make some noise, so they're going to hear him on the moto box. He checks it at least, and he gets the opening kill with Sick. And now it's a 2 versus 1. The tides have turned so many times in this round, and back in advantage of the Misfits. It's planted safely. They know that Sick, or at least Magis knows that Sick is inside the pit, and he's going to try to hold it on the bicycle. Headshot it by Magis Boy. 1 versus 1. Sean Garris reveals himself. So it's now going to be an aim battle, and Magis Boy will win it and clutch a 2 versus 1. So many advantages, as I've mentioned before. And it comes back into the favor of OpTic Gaming. Very expensive round for them to win. But it's still going to be at least 13-13 back on an even scoreline. So that timeout that they used here, Scrawny, came into their favor in the end.
My God, the individual plays that unfold in that round. The fact that Sean's allowed to clear the corner of HS up close, you'd think that's where, you know, HS just really locks things in and allows for the 2v1 to go the opposite way. The fact that Magis can catch the headshot on the player who's jumping bicycle, trying to catch that information and post up on lane, despite the retake already rolling. Like, you have to be aware that those players could already have been pushed up, and he puts himself on a silver platter, leaves poor Sean alone in the back of the bomb site, and none of that would have been possible if it wasn't for a beauty of a 2K from HS. But Misfits, they want this A site. They're going to try to wrap around Arch. Alu on the other side executes the first, and Devin Duvik digs back. All of a sudden, they could collapse to A.
That's right, but there's still 2 guys alive inside B. That's Mixwell by Motopit, and also his teammate just at the default box. He wins his second duel over towards the Arch side. Everybody else is streaming inside the truck side, and Mixwell with HS are going to work, and he even gets a 4K on top of that to support his teammate, and it's now going to be 14-13 in favor of OpTic Gaming. An eco coming in from Misfits, building up the econ into this one, but now it's their turn to call for a timeout.
Man, what a great first map. It looked like it was going to be super one-sided when Misfits were just losing rounds on that first half. The 5 consecutive from OpTic were very convincing. You know, if they didn't get that little round 2 buffer at the end of their CT side, get those 6 rounds as opposed to 4, then this could have been over already. They win the pistol, we get that economic battle going back and forth, but I think it really boils down to the 26th round. When HS gets that wallbang, doubles up, swings back from a 4 versus 5 advantage, it just could very well seal the fate of this first map.
That's right. Now this round is also important too, because look at the money situation now. OpTic Gaming buying, they might be able to buy onto the next round with only Mixwell and HS if they lose this round here, but the rest will have to save. On the other end for Misfits, buying all the way to 0, 100, 150. They lose this round, they lost 4 rounds in a row. That's only $2,900, and they will not be able to afford a buy. So if OpTic Gaming wins this round here, it's potentially map and the first map under their belt. And it's again their map choice. If Misfits actually wins this round here, they'll be at map point where OG could actually fight back to bring it into overtime. So there's a lot of situations that could happen right now for the Misfits, which is why, again, this timeout is super important for Sean Garris to see how he could bring this back and at least secure OT point for the Misfits.
And the best thing of all this is that even if economy is broken and we get these weak pistol buys, anything is possible, and both of these teams have proved it already. Each of them has those kinds of pistol round force buys already notched into their belts, and it's going to be aggression from Freiburg here towards Banana. We have not seen bottom of Banana control going the way of the CTs just yet. So clearly looking to set something up, but it's sick. Taking 2, opening up the B site, and charging forward. He wants to get into position before the CTs arrive. Bomb at his back, tries to get in, but he misses the smoke. That's crucial. Such a simple smoke, and he flubs the opportunity. Alu looks to capitalize, but Shazam will re-smoke it. Great play by him. Good heads-up awareness.
That's right. Thankfully, he didn't run with a knife out to be like, okay, I got this, because I want to plant it. So he re-smokes it. It's going to be an easy bomb plant now. Now it's the retake for OG. So you still have one guy watching the flank on the Banana side, one guy on the top of Banana, pretty much helping out the team to look towards Garden. They're playing very close out in the open for the terrorist team. Nobody playing towards New Bucks. Nobody at Emo. The double setup. And it's going to be a quick trade. Alu gets the first kill into Shazam. Traded out by Sick. Now they're spamming through the smoke. Mixwell only has 22 HP. But Devin Dubik runs through the smoke. And he dies in his hands. Now Amanek sprays it back though. And Mixwell only has 6 HP. No time on the bomb. And Amanek again through the smoke. Gets the kill onto Mixwell. And it is now 14-14 with OpTic Gaming. What can they do? Like I said, only 2 guys can buy, and that's Mixwell and HS.
Things could not be closer. And that's, of course, not considering economy, because that ends up making this very one-sided. As you said, double buy up here from Mixwell and HS. Magisk affords himself the UMP. We know he can play SMGs very well. And then, of course, just pistols for Freiburg and Alu. At least there's utility here to the CT side. That was one of the strengths going into their retakes, but it was the gunfights that all went the way of Misfits. Posted up on Banana, the king himself, Freiburg up close.
And what I like too is that he kept his 5.7, not the CZ. Why? Because there's a banana basically on his gun, but also because of the nerf or the new changes to the pistols. The 5.7 is actually still quite accurate if you're standing still. So keeping that close range, getting the sprays in, could still put a lot of armor pen to actually get that kill onto the banana side. But now he's holding it on his own. Again, holding his title of King of Banana. The rest are rotating towards the A-bomb side. And this is where OG are holding a crossfire up against Misfits. Shazam is the only one that gets the kill. Make that a second one to even things up on a 3 versus 3. Now Alu runs through the smoke. Again, Shazam with another op kill and his being on fire. Now it's a plant at the default spot. Freiburg and Magisboy. Magisboy picks up the AK-47, but can they hold it? Will they go for it?
I feel like they've got to. Freiburg's still full health kit on his back and Magisk by his side. Smoke grenade to block off Sick. That's Pit, no longer a problem, but here comes Shazam. Distracts as Amanek takes the head and leaves Magisk 1v3. 34 points of health. He could go for the late play, but instead he looks to save. This is Misfits securing OT. And all thanks to Shazam. An amazing 3K there inside of mid. I mean, the fact that we watched two terrorists come peeking wide, offering their back to Arch, they died so easily, just like Shazam does, as he tries to walk away with the op, which has now been forfeited to the hands of Magisk. Sick not giving chase here, but more importantly, Misfits securing OT. So no matter what, OpTic have to win this round, and then their work's still cut out for them.
Yeah, and they're not even out of the fire pit yet because they have no money. Thankfully, they have the op that was salvaged that Alu could pick up, and then he could get something done with that and really help it out. On the other end, Misfits, because of that round, losing that much money from the AWP, they don't have an op for this round. And that's how Alu opens it up. He's at the truck side, or should I say at the car of Banana, gets the first frag onto Amanek, but it's traded back from a touchdown nade from Devoduvic. So the op is already down, now salvaged by Magis Boy. Freiburg will pick up the UMP, and they're still going to try to aggress towards this B bomb site for the Misfits.
Oh, Magisk, he misses his shot, has to fall back, flat to the feet, and Freiburg takes one. But Devoduvic, again, able to trade as he grabs himself the bomb. It's dropped. Mixwell with a deagle to take the man advantage and suddenly put OpTic back in the driving seat because Devoduvic's tagged. And he needs to be bailed out by Sick. Sick. Down for the count, and Devoduvic needs to clutch. He would need the ace on 4 HP.
Thank you, Mr. Deagle from Mixwell. We are now going into overtime between the Misfits and OpTic Gaming, and I gotta say, slight mistake. I think because the bomb fell inside the smoke and they have to try to go pick it up, I think Mixwell could still see shadows if somebody's going to move in and pick up the bomb. That's how you saw that Deagle spray come through and he got that kill. And then as soon as the smoke dissipated, he got another one with the Deagle. And that basically turned around over for OpTic Gaming's favor. But not without the first entry frag from Alu. Playing so aggressively towards that car to see that first kill and how these guys are moving so aggressively towards this B bomb site. And he gets the first kill to say, guys, these guys, they're coming towards B. Let's just rotate right away. Gave enough chance for OpTic Gaming to rotate from A to B to actually hold it off, get the retake, and win this 15-15 to bring this into overtime. So I gotta say, for Misfits side, they knew that it was an eco for OpTic Gaming. So you got to be careful for those. Despite them, I guess they wanted to finish it quick. Let's try to surprise attack them, set up for trades, pistols versus rifles. But again, it's pistols in CSGO. No matter where you go, if you work as a team, if they have the right angles, they could still turn around over against you. I think they should have played it a little bit more slowly.
Yeah, I definitely reflect your feelings there. I understand, of course, you carpet bomb the Opper, and you think to yourself, like, all right, that's the biggest gun done. But I would personally think, why not try to avoid that? It's not like they already had somebody posted on the weapon and that it wouldn't have been retrieved. I mean, had Magisk hit that peek shot around the edge of the smoke, then that push from Misfits gets even worse. And generally, of course, when you're playing versus a team that's force buying in with as little as they can, they're going to try to swarm you. And that's exactly what we see. The pistols rotate over because they have no utility. That was the moment that OpTic had to go big, and they grasped the opportunity with both hands.
At least now in this overtime, both teams have shown a little bit more comfort on the T side. Of course, both of them getting 9 rounds on their T side respectively. So Misfits starting off here on the terrorist side of the overtime could actually set the pace and set the tone early in this overtime. And can it be done? It starts off now with some early control on Banana, nothing towards mid. But they actually have a boost coming on for OpTic Gaming side on the awning of the truck side. So a high-low there for the CT side. And it's going to be semi-slow right now for the Misfits. Still trying to take the information and also taking map control.
This is the kind of position here from OpTic that's so susceptible to an apartments play. I mean, HS is the only line of defense, and there's nobody here to stop them from getting into pit. It's just such a mid presence from OpTic that if Misfits walk into it, sure, they're done. But if we get a player just kind of lurking out from that apps, then this entire setup can just be very quickly dealt with.
And it's going to be an aggressive push up towards that mid side. They don't know that there's somebody up on the awning, and that's Mixwell with a triple kill, but traded out by Shazam. At the end of the day, it's a 2 versus 2, A bomb side open, so it's going to have to be the retake game for OpTic Gaming. Bomb planted at default spot. You're going to try to get Shazam into the pit, and he gets the better position. He sees Freiburg moving out from the library side as well, and they're both going to try to move together here on the truck side from Halls and from porch side respectively. So can Shazam get it done with Sick?
Of course, Shazam will be tested while Sick commits to that cubby. He has no way of helping out his teammate. He's going to have to just play fully in the corner. And Shazam, well, he gets burned out into the open. Molotov takes him into their positions. Oh my goodness, Freiberg takes it. Now it's on to Sick. He's still inside the site. Flashbang goes down, but he doesn't want to duel. Time is the issue, though, and it might be close. It might be Magic's. It is OpTic winning the opening round.
Okay, Sick got a little bit too nervous there. If anything, throw that pop flash and stay in the corner. If you really wanted to play that time, stay in the corner so that he actually has to push forward to actually fight against you. That would have been that extra millisecond that was needed for Misfits to actually win that round. Instead, he tries to look for the bunny hop and cover behind that single box inside the middle of the site, and he misses the jump, and it's an easier kill for Magic's Boy. But unfortunate for that, I mean, it's things that you see in retrospective, and also we're seeing it as an observer point of view. Being in Sick's shoes, it's a very tough call to make.
I'll have to respectfully disagree. Just sit in the corner. I mean, drop the flashbang to the left side, and you can still keep your crosshair. It won't even blind you.
That's
you
what
can
I'm
literally
saying.
use the flash to keep your crosshair up, and I mean, regardless, I'm sure he's thinking, oh, don't worry, time is gonna play into my strengths even if I die. But that is literally, as you said, the millisecond difference. So
Yeah.
What a way for OpTic to start off this CT half of OT. We mentioned that the T side was where both these teams found the majority of their success. So to already have that one in the bag and for it to have come down to the wire like that, incredible stuff. However, Misfits get a chance here. They find a 5v4 and Alu rips it back.
And it starts off at least with Sick redeeming himself a little bit, as much as he can, to give a chance for Misfits to set up a position at the banana side, and looking at it, possibly a full execution. But already Magic's Boy has rotated over. And you also have Alu with the op inside the B-bomb side. So position has changed a little bit on the CT side. The execution comes in. Alu at Emo gets the first kill into Sean Garris, and that includes the bomb carrier. Magic's Boy swinging out after that pop flash. Great plays and teamwork from the CT side. That flash came from the CT spawn, and they hold the anchor inside the B-bomb site and take the 2-point lead here to hopefully take their third round and win their map choice.
So if we look at OpTic as of late, just in like the ESL Pro League, they've had so many close scores, like 16-14 win over Renegades. I mean, even a BO2 versus Complexity. Complexity got 13 and 14 rounds versus OpTic. And at the end of the day, those are still wins for OpTic. The points are there, it counts. But this is the nature of their wins. It is a grind to find these final rounds. The moment we get into overtime, OpTic look like a whole new beast. They're hitting shots, they're winning out in crucial moments, and it's that will net them these wins. Misfits, I just don't see them bouncing back. I think when it comes to overtimes and when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, a team like OpTic somehow constantly survive.
I think they're hitting their shots on their own teammates, too. I think Alu got dinged from his teammate through the smoke at mid, but at least he still gets the kill onto Devaduvic at the beginning of this round. So they reassess their positioning, playing a little bit more passively after that opening kill to turtle back inside A. You can see Aminix setting up for a flash inside the pit, so they're going to stream out as a waterfall, and with a third 1-6 lurking across. But that flash does not affect HS. He gets 2 kills, Alu with a third, and they only manage to get a kill onto Aminix. 6 last man standing as the smoke dissipates, though. Mixwell gets the kill with the AK-47, and they seal the deal on their CT side, nonetheless, for OpTic Gaming on this first half of Inferno Overtime.
Very convincing CT side once Magisk gets away with that incredible defuse. You know, that one comes down to the wire. The follow-up to individual plays all the way of OpTic. Alu on the backside of Banana, and then, of course, HS locking down Balk in that most previous round. So now it's up to Misfits to clean sweep a CT side. And again, both these teams had more rounds on their T-halves than they did the defense. So work certainly set out for them.
That's right. Misfits will have to win 3 rounds flawlessly, of course, to try to bring us into second overtime. I think there's 2 mistakes if I look at this, if I reflect back on this whole matchup, that's going to affect Sick moving into the second map. The first one, when he died from a molly inside B, trying to execute it inside the B bomb site, when they actually had pretty much control of B. The second one, that 1v1 versus Magus Boy. So he's going to have to maintain his calmness and try to bring it back because they need a player like Sick to help out. Sean Garris is only at 11 and 20 throughout this whole matchup so far because he's so focused for calling out for his team. So you need somebody like Sick who had so much potential in the past to start bringing it back and help out the remaining Misfits player to carry not necessarily the dead weight of Sean Garris, but to take the focus away from Sean Garris of fragging so that he could just focus on the calls and help out Misfits to actually bring this into the second overtime.
Double op setup immediately from the Misfits. Mixwell behind and
what
Sick
are you doing?
That right there, Vansily, is the third mistake that moves forward because he somehow didn't notice that.
I think you could still see that angle from a 4x3. Come on.
100%.
Cool. So that's already one down. Map point situation for OpTic Gaming. They already have, well, a 1-minute advantage as they had a few more trades coming through. But OpTic Gaming does not stop the pace. They're running across towards the A-bomb side. Alu getting the pick onto Devoduvic. This could be it right here unless Shazam goes Shazam God mode again. He gets the first kill onto HS. The bomb is planted safely inside the site, but we're repositioning ourselves for OpTic Gaming, playing this very passively. So it's going to be Freiberg pretty much sacrificing himself and the last two guys to basically pick the retake on the retake.
Alu locking down mid. Immediate frag is found. Amanek now 1 versus 3. He's making a whole ton of noise. Alu's posted up, and the Opper seals the deal. It is OpTic Gaming with map 1 in the bag after a very convincing OT.
Yeah, that definitely set the tone for the second map right now. It looks so close for this whole matchup before we got into overtime where it went back and forth. The eco's working well for OpTic Gaming. The eco's working for Misfits as well. Some godlike plays from individual players, notably Shazam, notably Freiberg, notably Magus Boy, even Mixwell. Lots of trip kills. Amanek on top of that too. So a lot of players really stepped up to the plate to bring this into an overtime matchup. But as soon as the overtime came in and the money was full here for OpTic Gaming, it was pretty much game over right there. OpTic Gaming was landing they were landing every single shot. Small mistakes that happened as well, but in the end, it was an assertive overtime win for the terrorist team, or overall for the green wall. And basically that wall keeps the herd back in place.
Now, of course, we're moving on to Cash, which is still very interesting because on a map like Inferno, we watch Misfits actually put up a fight. And now all of a sudden, we're moving to a map where OpTic have recent losses. So there's definitely still an opportunity for Misfits, but they are going to certainly have to reset in between these maps. Just reapproach this second one with a fresh face and try and put up a fight. But of course, that is the situation. We will be taking a brief break in between these two maps before the series does continue. I'd suggest that you guys use this time wisely. Enter in the giveaway that should be spammed in chat. If not, it's down below. If you guys check out the icon boxes, not only is there the general giveaway like CyberPower and our sponsors regularly do, but there's also the predictions competition that I believe is still going on. I could be wrong, but check it out regardless so that next time it's around,
you're right,
you guys are already ready. You predict the outcome, you win prizes. Simple as that. But don't go too far. You guys are watching the CyberPowerPC Extreme Gaming Series Fall 2017 with Scrawny and Vansily.
Gaming is demanding, and streaming even more so. We pride ourselves in knowing what it takes to build a perfect system.
I've been gaming and streaming my entire life. I do it because it's my passion. The one thing my audience appreciates the most is the energy I bring to the table. And when I bring energy, that's when I connect with my audience.
Yo, Rod again, thank you for the 10 months, man. Appreciate the resubscribe.
Yeah, I get excited about the little things, like cache and IO improvements. We take a lot of time to make sure that every system we build maximizes performance. Now, with more cores and threads, the potential is so much higher.
So when I'm streaming, there's usually a lot going on. The last thing I want to worry about is my computer going down. Everything just has to work.
With more PCI lanes, we get a ton of headroom for graphics cards and SSDs. Intel's making it easy for us to give streamers responsive systems with more bandwidth, scalability, and overclocking potential.
To stay competitive, I gotta grind, I gotta stay sharp.
Gaming is going to be around forever, and we're always going to be there.
We're always practicing and pushing.
Until it's perfect.
My name is Tim, aka Tim the Tat Man, and I play video games on the internet. I would say if you come to my channel, for the most part, you're going to see some sort of FPS getting played. I'm kind of the person that once I find a game I like, I sink my teeth into it. So for the past year, I've been playing Overwatch, and first-person shooter type of games is what you're generally going to see. I've been playing those games, Counter-Strike, World of Warcraft, since I was 13, and then Overwatch has only been out for a year, but I have logged way too many hours into that game already. So the competitive nature of it, growing up, played a lot of sports and stuff and have that competitive kind of root in me. And I like to win, even though in my old age, I don't do that near as much anymore. Feel like I can't keep up with a lot of the young bucks out there playing now. I personally yell more than I probably should, if you ask people that live with me, but like, let's go everyone, like, really excited about whatever. It has almost two meanings. You can do it in the pre or the post, so before whatever you're doing or after whatever you're doing, it's perfect. Let's go! The reason that I started streaming was when I was in college back in 2013. I used to watch a guy by the name of Soda Poppin'. I always thought, man, it's so cool. This guy's playing video games, people are watching. So basically, the root of it was, I like video games and I like people. I like hanging out with people and I like video games. So I thought streaming kind of was a perfect mesh of those two things. So started doing it back in 2013, and here we are today. Very, very gratefully. Becoming a streamer has changed my life in regards, well, to a couple different ways. One way I'd 100% say is just getting to connect with so many people on a personal level and meeting viewers that have been watching me, for 2 to 3 years, people that you've never put a face to, and then you go to an event and you can see these people and talk with them. It's a really cool feeling. But also, I'm living the dream out too, To be able to wake up and stream every day is a blessing. That 100%, it's a dream I'm living out, and I can't thank people that, watch enough. As far as tips for streaming goes, I think at the core of it, my first thing I always tell people is to have fun with it. If you're not having fun with it, it's gonna be a tough time for you. For me personally, CyberPower, if I have an issue with something, I can reach right out to them and they'll be on it. I need obviously a reliable computer, but on top of that, if something goes wrong, God forbid, they're gonna be right there to help me out with it. It's almost a security blanket for me. I love Intel. The reason that I trust Intel is because that's what I've been using for so long. It's like I grew up with them, Back when I was 13, I put the first one in the computer, and that's like a bonding relationship right there. And ever since that point, and having a good experience with Intel, I've not wanted to look away. Don't fix what isn't broken. I'm very blessed to be in the position I am, very grateful that CyberPower, wants to work with me, and I understand the position I'm in is a very, fortunate one, and I'm very, very humbled to be able to do what I do, and can't do it without you guys. So thanks so much, anyone watching the stream, whatever, supporting, appreciate you guys, man. My name is Tim the Tat Man. I use CyberPowerPC, powered by Intel.
Straight into the game for the second overtime of the CyberPowerPC Extreme Series second semifinal that we're witnessing today. OpTic Gaming winning the first map on overtime, 19-15. And we are now moving into the second map on Misfits map. It is Cash. I'm Van Silly. Along with me is Scrawny. Welcome to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. And pistol round, let's get it done.
Same pistol play on Cash as versus Torqued. OpTic opting to play that retake A. It's going to be Freiberg with the kit and the smoke, but it's actually a headshot already found. Magisk tapping through, finding the head of Shazam. Bomb plant, regardless, still goes in. And that's Misfits to the 4 versus 5. Now, no flanks currently inbound. HS only works his way through mid now. So it's a little bit later, which means the T's might become aware of the timing and understand its plausibility. Meanwhile, Freiberg's going to get himself closer to Toxic. Wants to find closer fights, but it's the Glocks to find too. HS able to come in with a headshot, and all of a sudden, it's equal. With Sean wrapping around the side of the smoke, finding the man advantage, and taking it to HS. He's down, and Misfits find the pistol.
I think that single smoke that was thrown there at the A-bomb side made the whole play for the Misfits on that post-plant position. Very standard that you see an A retake play for the counter-terrorist team, and it comes down to an aim battle, but adding that extra layer from the smoke, a smaller gap to actually look through. You can't really move inside the side from the CT side, so you have to wrap in towards that front. Misfits had a great positioning there, because they had one at forklift, one at A main, and then a double up pretty much inside the site. The front of the site is pretty much under lock. So Misfits, great job on that pistol. Force buy coming in from OpTic Gaming on that second round. We've seen them do some dirty work before, and they're doing it again. It's 1 kill for 1, but it's still the advantage for the Misfits as they have the stronger firepower.
You know, Mixwell might claim not to like opping, and it's for that reason that, you know, we see Alu take it from time to time. But my God, does he ever love that scout? Every second round when OpTic don't win the pistol, he seems to pick it up, and he does very well with it. Like, substantial damage seems to always be done, regardless of how many kills, right? So he generally puts his team in a great position, just like that. Poor Sean takes one to the mouth, and Mixwell will fall back.
And that is a glass cannon scout. At least it's smoked out now, and you have basically a weaker B retake because nobody's inside the site. Pop flash coming through. There's no scout shot that could come in from Mixwell through that smoke, and it's going to be a plan for B main, and Aminik is already set up here on Useless to actually cut any type of rotation. So it all comes down now to Sick and to Devaduvic deep inside the B bomb site to hold off this rotation.
Mixwell's scout still looks to crack this site wide open. Peek comes in from heaven. Down goes 2. Devaduvic finding himself the third. Alu on the vents was watching for the flank. Nobody ever came that way. So instead, he's slain. Inside the checkers, Misfits convert their point, but we did have Mixwell at least making them work for it.
Yeah. After getting those 2 kills, you see some drops, but still a bonus round because that UMP is going to get dropped. We'll see if they're going to upgrade because Aminek dropped that UMP, but he's going to maybe keep the Deagle. No, the MAC-10's actually purchased, so he's probably going to pick that back up. Yep. So 2 MAC-10s, 3 MCGs overall, and that's okay because OpTic Gaming's on a full save after that forced buy. So it gives them an advantage to build that economy back up. So they're going to see them moving very aggressively forward to just try to catch them off guard. And it starts off with a big nade. Mixwell already peeks out towards that A main with no HP remaining, with only 13 after the initial nades. So it should be easier for the Misfits right now, throwing a lot of things towards the A-bomb side. Even on top of that, with them playing against pistols, they're selling a fake. They're moving inside for the entries, and then they're moving into B to get the bomb plant.
You really can't give them much weight in this round, seeing as they just had those vanilla pistols.
That's right.
So, hey, you found one frag. That's better than nothing. And if you're lucky, you might catch another. But CTs all decide to split. We've got the T side still all across the map, so nothing should be afforded. Excuse me. But Freiburg gets an ump. And he creates a distraction long enough for HS to find himself the frag. And a Galil, even better. As damage has certainly been done. I mean, the double Mac 10's still moving forward for Misfits if they survive, because 6 up close versus this rifle.
Yeah, I think they would... Matches Boy should have tried to peek a little bit faster to see how close Sick was, so he catches HS off guard. HS doesn't have any armor, so it's easier for him to get melted down for that submachine gun. And Matches Boy cannot connect, unfortunately, against Sick close range. And that is going to be the round coming in for the Misfits. Again, they haven't lost that much. They kept the Mac 10s, but they could drop this quite easily just to buy the AKs and the ops that they need in this full gun round. The full gun round, though, on the other end for OpTic Gaming, yes, they got a few kills with the USPs, but it's still not enough to move in straight with an AWP.
But Shazam finds one. And Shazam had an incredible game last map. That's really what kept them rolling, especially in that crucial round where he was able to get the 3K entry inside of mid to the T side. Without Shazam, that's OpTic all day long. The kill differential on the side of Misfits was completely different than OpTic, who were all very similarly fragging out. But Mixwell starts this round off with a headshot already, finds Sick inside the fire where he seems comfortable tonight. Mixwell decides to keep going, charging in, taking a third, and forcing Shaz back, who misses his shot, loses his bomb, and calls for Sean's rotation. Sean comes barreling in from vent, and it's denied as Mixwell wants the ace, hits Shaz to 27, but down he is still sitting to the backside of the graveyard.
Yeah, as Sunroom now, the only thing I can do right now is try to save the AWP because the bomb is down out in the open. Everybody converted for OG around the site. I'm going to take this time to say that was some great teamwork for Mixwell and for HS. The way how that's played, HS, when he saw that first smoke at B main, spammed a lot, fell back, Mixwell went through the vents to support him. As Mixwell gets the first kill, immediately a flash was thrown from HS to prevent anybody else from moving forward inside the checkers to trade it out. Even on top of that, HS throws a molly on the ground, so nobody could push through checkers. Even a sound was heard from Mixwell, so he knew somebody else was close after he killed the bomb. More pop flash came through from a rotation. He swung back out, got another kill, and, you know, Mixwell has a 4K into this round, but it wasn't just him. It was some intense and great teamwork play from OpTic Gaming to just hold down that B bomb site. So 8 seconds left on the clock. Shazam fell all the way back towards T-spawn, trying to save his AWP at this point. But I think he should be able to. He shouldn't peek anymore at this point because that's going to be very expensive moving into the next round for the Misfits. But again, OpTic Gaming setting a presence on the first gun round.
That was really just Mixwell creating method inside the madness. I'm sure he was calling for all that utility. He wanted it to be confusing, and man, did he ever capitalize on it. Of course, Shazam's going to drop the AK. He'll reacquire his op, and it leaves Misfits with a decent enough buy, with 3 players still sitting on full utility, but an immediate opportunity for OpTic to double down and break the economy of the Misfits. I mean, the fact that the CTs hold on to 3 AKs right now just goes to prove that, you know, the purchases of Misfits and the loss of that round has already started to bolster the CT's cash flow.
So now it is going to be the Misfits playing pretty much spread across the map. Set an early aggression to try to take this mid control, and they'll be able to do so. No, actually, sorry. They're still stuck towards team mid because there was a smoke that was thrown there. So very basic to start. A 2-1-2 setup here for OpTic Gaming as well, but you do have Magic's Boy that's boosted up on Shroud. He loves this spot here, and it's usually a spot that you should check, but it's not the first spot that you usually check. You always try to clear out towards the fence, towards the quad, and towards the truck side first. And here's the execution. Let's see what they can do from this. There you go. You check the forklift first. He sprays for 2 down. The third one's finally going to peek out, but misses the shot, and Magic's Boy gets a triple kill. Even support from the blue door. It's reclosed by Freiburg, and it should be now OpTic Gaming looking to set the pace again. It should be a 3-2 scoreline. The bomb is already down out in the open inside the A bomb site. And Sean Garrison Sick, they can't do anything with this. They only have 2 flashes in the molly. Even on top of that, a UMP, and also Mixwell flanking from T-spawn. Sick at this point, I don't think we can save this.
No, he's doomed. Here comes OpTic. They all trickle in. Sure enough, he executes HS with a headshot, coincidentally. However, that's OpTic to convert their opening point, and again in convincing fashion, keeping 4 players alive in both of those rounds, clearing out the near entirety of Misfits in both. I mean, you can see the impact already here for the funds of Misfits. It is just Glocks so far. They do not look to invest anything in this round, except for the P250 of Amanek and a Deagle on Shazam. Massive advantage for OpTic, and what should certainly be a 3-3 scoreline.
Yeah, and if you mentioned it before here, Scrawny, that Misfits actually won this map on Cash before against OpTic Gaming, it's really changed so far of how this pace has been set by the counter-terrorist team so far. Even now, an op shot from Alu. He gets dinged down to 6 HP, but that's okay. At least he gets the kill. He could fall back as well. They could reposition themselves. And actually, the op shot wasn't even towards that mid side. So he's going to look back towards the truck. I wonder where Shazam died. I think that's towards A main, if he was looking for that kill. No, it was on boost. He was on boost. Sorry. I zoned out for like a quick second.
That's okay. Bringing up the match, though, that was actually between these teams in the Pre-ESL Pro League, I just found it on HLTV to see kind of how that one unfolded. And it was actually Sick who drops a 27-15 in the game. It was 6 rounds to OpTic on the CT side, including 3 from Pistol. Oh my goodness, look at this. Just absolute slaughter. Like, with no smoke, no flash, that's what happens. You try to entry a bomb site, guns aren't gonna move. No reason to post up on smokes or flashes from OpTic, they just mow you over. So, easy conversion, let's get it out of the way. And leave that one in the history books. But it was Misfits with a very convincing 9-round T-side, because after the pistol and the 2 conversions, OpTic were never allowed to win 2 rounds in a row. It was constant economy control, which is something that Misfits have already lost so far.
And economy control for this round, they do have utilities with the exception of Amanek, nothing in on his utility belt. And from that last round, Alu getting that first pick when he was down to 6 HP, they just reassessed. So we talked about how fast OpTic Gaming moves around as well and reassesses their positioning on the CT side, whether they get a pick, whether they have a teammate that's a little bit lower. They have more setups than just a default, move it in from the beginning of the round to the end of the round. So when that happened, Alu actually fell back towards the truck, played the A side solo pretty much so that they could focus more on a mid hold and a B hold for OpTic Gaming. So that's how that pretty much unfolded. This round here, just a quick execution for the Misfits inside the A bomb site. It's a small trade, 4-on-4 situation right now. They are trickling inside the A bomb site for the Misfits and they're actually slowly opening it up. But Alu is still alive inside the site. Devadovic is actually flashed from the side for him to move in, but as soon as the smoke, as soon as it blooms, Shazam gets the headshot onto Alu to open it up. So here's a retake from HS and to Mixwell. HS already falls, but Mixwell is already inside the site. Gets the first kill onto Devadovic and is going to force the fake. Now they're going to reposition themselves. He gets the headshot onto Shazam. He's going to tap it for a second time. Amanek. He made too much noise here for Mixwell. Now there's 4 seconds left. He keeps the angle out. The body peeks out, but not fast enough on the reaction time. And Amanek will get the kill to make it 4-3.
So dangerously close was that clutch there from Mixwell. Even the fact that he's able to just mow down terrorists to the point where only 1 survives is fantastic. We talked about economy control between Misfits and OpTic in their most recent matchup on Cash, and these are the kinds of opportunities where, you know, Misfits would reset OpTic. So if revenge is a dish best served cold, then that's what they'll do here and now. A single T survived. That's very little economy, very little utility that's actually left over for Misfits to play off of. I mean, sure enough, they have some smoke grenades, they've got a few Molotovs, but if they try to play, you know, an initial wave of grenades, then they're not going to have anything if OpTic hold that off. It's going to be a full commitment with grenades once they decide to use them. And it looks like they might actually just employ this set A piece, which is something Misfits have in their pocket. It's something that we've watched them use multiple times on Cash before, and generally their A take is quite convincing. Even in that last round, it really did come down to the wire and that quick rotate from OpTic. As far as opening the bomb site and taking it into their hands, Misfits can do this over and over.
Change of pace right now for OG, how they're playing the CT side. They're setting up a double op on their setup here. So you do have Alu watching towards that mid side. Mixwell is opping towards this B side, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's looking towards that vent. So it's actually a very passive kind of hold. He's even holding it from drip. So a very tight angle, hard area to hold if they're actually going to trickle through towards the B main. So HS has to play a big job right now if they're going to execute towards this B site. And it starts off that way. Mixwell, no matter what, can't even get a shot off, and he falls off early from Devoduvek. So HS is going to have to hold for as long as he can for the rotate to come through. But Sean Garris gets the kill with the UMP. They open up B. It's 2 great entries to start here, Strani. That's from a Galil and a UMP, not even utilizing the AWP or AKs.
Yeah, but another garbage smoke on the cross allows for Freiburg to just peek out. No one contests it till Sick drops it back, and that leaves Magisk 1v3. All of these T's have been tagged, and he has no utility to work with, but he does have a kit. Meanwhile, it's over. He immediately just takes the duel, finds the challenge, and comes out on top. But that's a moment where Misfits just go charging into the B bomb site, and that gap in the smoke could have seriously cost them. Really nice play by Sean there to come out of that smoked door, jump, offsetting the crosshair of HS, and then somehow winning a duel with an ump at a distance. Had HS shut down that initial push, he would have had the chance to get cover in the boxes. Freiburg could have watched through the gap in the smoke, and that looks completely different. But regardless, Misfits with another win, and now it's OpTic who struggle with a single M4 and single SMG.
Right. They're buying all the way down. They know that they're in a situation that they have to save on that next round no matter what. So they're utilizing the economy as much as they can. They lose this round here, they're going to be at $2,900, which should be probably a pistol round, or 24, sorry, which should be a pistol round for them to be able to buy the round after. So this round here, they're trying to go for that counter boost, and Sick is met up by Alu, but he still manages to get the kill, and another entry on to Mixwell, but the M4 is still alive. That's Freiburg, but they didn't know that a second guy was boosted up. Now the 5-7 trades it back, but mid control is now open for the taking. But they're going to reassess to move towards A, where HS is waiting on the other end with the 5-7 as well.
This could be big, but Devoduvek looks to check it, sits to the other side of the smoke as HS crosses over, gets himself out, but gets himself nothing for it. Leaves it all on Magisk, who drops the bomb first and foremost. Devoduvek up close will take himself the round as Misfits double up versus OpTic. They've got the 6-3 lead, and they show no signs of slowing down when it is just pistols here for OpTic.
And from that money situation, it should be a full save now coming in for OpTic Gaming. So how would they play this? Will they want to play for a stack? Will they try to play for some sort of pop flash to peek through? You can see it. They buy nothing. The only $300, usually a $200 for a flash. They're going to use it to buy a P250 for Freiburg. But they're still trickling forward towards this mid side. But Devoduvek spots him first still as he throws a molly. Didn't expect for them to run that fast. Amanek watching that flank with Shazam. That's already 2 down. And the rest of them are still trying to hold it off. And Shazam goes to work with that P250.
Yeah, goes to work with the P250, comboed off the flashbang. Poor OpTic. They're just stuck next to those spools, fully flashed, fully exposed, and then just completely cleared out. So solid round for Misfits. They're able to control what was just sheer aggression on OpTic, but here we go, back into the gun rounds, and this is where OpTic look to assert themselves.
And you gotta think, even though Devoduvek fell early in that round, it's about that jump peak. There's no smoke towards that mid side, so he could actually see and get all that information. Oh, what the hell's going on? Amanek burnt all the way down to 5 HP. I guess they tried to go for an early boost to see if he could try to surprise somebody before he falls down, but he was body blocked by his teammates. So that's a very rough start for Misfits to start in this round here. As he's going to have to reassess himself in the squeaky. But even then, if he opens it up, he can't really do anything. A nade's going to kill him right away. A molly that actually tags him for 1 tick again will kill him. So that's actually weak there for them to try to get the take. So he's set up now for a molly to throw it inside the fence. Maybe for them to try to take control of this mid side once again for the Misfits. But this 2-1-2 setup for OpTic Gaming is still quite present. They don't have an op, but the last time that they did this, they were able to hold a great B from Mixwell. Now it's that mid control coming through.
Devoduvek yet to fully commit, as it is Alu again on those white boxes. So he is going to have to be the playmaker for the mid hold if need be. But curiously enough, Sean Garris falls off of boost with bomb, starts to work his way into A main, as Misfits will gear up for the A site split. So it's going to come down to this duel on white box. Boost over top as Sick goes down. Devoduvek up next because Alu locks it out. Amanek tagged up heavy towards the A site, and that's where the CTs stack. This could be bad for Misfits, because here comes Alu with a fourth, and the ace taken away. HS to clean it up, dropping the op, but nonetheless, fantastic rifle from Alu.
That's for sure. And now you see it, how it's changed a little bit. Misfits, last time they tried to execute towards that A-bomb site, there was an early triple kill from Magis Boy on the top of the Toxic. So that's why you see them smoke in the front by the forklift instead of really getting across, so that Sean Garris could just swing out and get the headshot there. But like I mentioned before, Amanek only had 5 HP, so if they tried to go for that split towards that squeaky door, as soon as he opens it, Alu was on top there with only 1 bullet needed to get the kill. But at least now, a round comes through with Shazam getting the opening kill, winning that op battle against Alu. But it's going to be held back by an Incinerator Grenade being thrown forward. Ooh, Magis Boy gets walled there by Shazam. Nice prediction shot. He's down to 38, but now he's still alive with the AWP, so he can still set a presence on that hold.
Yeah, that's just a bit of a warning there from Shazam. Kind of like a don't mess with me moment. You think you can jump peek me? Well, here's a reward. But regardless, it's Mixwell who's regarded with the trade frag as we go back to the 4 versus 4. I mean, man advantage for Misfits would have been huge, but now it's Mixwell pinned in. He's fully committed to the corner as he cowers and lets Devaduvic come peeking wide, gives up the frag and the man advantage. Back to the pocket of Misfits because Shazam slams down Freiburg and takes the 4v2.
That's even through the smoke, and that was unfortunate. Usually that snack position, the snacks rather position, is very strong, but it was just a timing for Mixwell. He had 2 angles to look at, towards B main and also towards checkers. As he turns back to look towards B main, the timing came through, got picked off by Devaduvic, and now HS and Magis Boy were forced to basically save their weapons. They know that Magis Boy is still towards A, because that's where Shazam saw him jump across, trying to pick up that AWP from Alu, and also even on top of that walls him. And he's actually lurking there on his own to try to get it for his team. But it's going to be fairly close here. He's trickling slowly towards this T spawn. But nonetheless, still a great job for Misfits to overtake this B side on that solo hold from Mixwell that couldn't be as strong as he was before. And like I said, that round where he got the 4K was all thanks to teamwork and flashbangs that were thrown for him to get these peaks. Now as he plays on in his zone, there's just too much happening where you don't know what to do. When you want to hold a flash, go for a pop flash and peek out for yourself. But then that split second where you're throwing that flash gives a chance for the terrorist team to still overpower you. So, Misfits, great job reassessing and resetting a little bit the economy of OpTic Gaming because Freiburg only has a UMP into this round.
Trying to contest a bit of A control. Here is OpTic, flashing and firing their way towards main. And still leaving HS inside of middle, so Misfits content to just sit back a little at this point, try and feel out the initial aggressions from OpTic, let them throw the grenades that they're willing to offer over, and then respond back with a little mid-round execution. And so that's what they do with the Molotovs, right? They're assuming that the CTs could have been in these positions, now they're trying to clear them out. So almost setting a trap, really, and letting OpTic play their game. But it is the Z-peak from the player on the CT side that nets them some information. They see this presence, and a flood Molotov is going to slow things down with Mixwell opening up. Great lurk over from Squeaky, but that's a 5 HP trade back, so he nearly loses that.
I think he spotted the bomb as well, though. That's why at first he was moving there on his own. You saw a lot of guys working towards mid and B. But after he gets that first kill, runs away with 5 HP, spotted that bomb, and they're now going back to their default 2-1-2. Now Misfits on the other end, they gave that mid control for the Misfits. So they know that it's going to be probably a split from the highway side and A main when Mixwell saw that bomb still towards mid. But Amanek still gets the opening kill onto HS. That was towards the opening of the A site. Magis Boy at the truck side still loses the fight against Sick though. And the flank comes through. Amanek pushes towards Z. Off shot missed by Alu. And then the spray right after end it up. And it might... Okay, I thought he was going to pick that op up to try to go for a double up setup on T side, which could happen. But they decide to just maintain with that single op onto the next round.
This is getting scary for OpTic.
Yeah.
That economic reset's really going to be a hindrance moving forward. They've got 2 more rounds to work with, so 6-9 the best possibility, as it always is. But the the P250 and 5.7 of OpTic is really going to be the bare bones in this one. I mean, 3 players on USPs, they should be relatively useless.
And they're not trying to go for any type of like big pushes as they did before because they got totally punished. So because of that, they're trying to set up a little bit more on crossfires, but as they try to walk across towards checkers, they get caught by Sick, and that's already a triple kill. And the B side is open. So you mentioned it here, Scrawny. P250 purchase, useless. 5.7 still in the hands, though, of Matches Boy as he's rotating over with Freiburg. At this point, I think you should just try to set up for some exits to try to get some guns into the next. Because like you said, they had no money remaining. They're going to lose this round here. That's 3 rounds lost in a row. That's $2,400. A few of them will be able to buy, but HS is still very low at Freiburg. So you want to try to salvage maybe 1 gun or 2. But you can see how Misfits are exiting as a team, so they can set up for a trade. If they lose 1 gun here, it's not so bad, but they lose 0. Flawless victory for Misfits, and this is going to be a very tough round to win in the end. Yes, they'll be able to buy still for M4s for Freiburg and HS, but going for small armor and M4 is really the only thing you could do if you want to afford some utilities, or maybe go for FAMAS so you can get a kit.
Puts Freiburg into a support position here, has the kit to stay alive, has the flashbangs to put his teammates into a better spot. We'll see how he decides to employ this. We'll see if OpTic can find a 5th round, because this CT side's been incredibly one-sided.
Yeah.
Misfits setting a rapid pace again, not letting the CTs get closer to them. There goes the grenades as Freiburg's cleared out from the cubby. Alu finding 1, with Sick trading back, and HS does the same. This round still in the open, 3v3. As Misfits start to charge out towards the A site, Magisk takes the top side, HS is beneath, but the T side starts to cross, and HS wants to walk through this. Amanek tagged, 10 points of health, finds cover, and a frag. Leaves it all on Mixwell.
At least he gets the first kill. Not sure if HS should have shot when he walked through that smoke, because I think it would walk back slowly inside the site. But now Mixwell up against Amanek and Sean Garris. It's planted for Squeaky. Amanek is only at 10 HP, so it'll still be winnable. As he gets the first one here. 1 more to go. He has no kit. Pop flash trying to move across. Sean Garris lurked around onto the other side, and he never actually checked the corner. He just tried to go for the tap, and Sean Garris is just waiting out in the open, and he will clutch that 1 versus 1 in the end to make it 11-4 for the Misfits. And yes, you mentioned it, Scrawny. Very one-sided for the Misfits, but I thought it was going to be the opposite. When I saw that first gun round come through, how they easily won that first gun round and made it 3-3, but somehow something happened, and Misfits just took the lead in this first half.
What's wild to think is in their most recent matchup, again, when we watched OpTic only get 10 rounds, 6 of those 10 rounds come from the pistols and the conversions. So rifle rounds have been their struggle on this map versus this team, and we'll see if they can replicate that by winning out the next pistol. But before the next pistol starts, we are going to take a brief advertisement break. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the CyberPowerPC Extreme Gaming Series Fall 2017.
My name is Trick2G, and I use CyberPowerPC powered by Intel. Let's go!
Back here, ladies and gentlemen. So Misfits, can they bring this into a 3rd map? They fell short on the overtime of the first map on Inferno. They put up a strong fight against OpTic Gaming. They almost won that one. OpTic Gaming had to win, I think, with pistols and an AWP. An AWP, a UMP, and pistols to actually bring it to overtime and then just run away with the victory on their map choice. At least Cash now is Misfits' choice, and they really set the pace. The mistakes that we talked about earlier on by Sick, totally fixed at this time. At this point, I think that little break that we had between the maps gave him a chance to just take a breather and recompose himself. And now you see this lead of 11-4, 11 rounds on CT side, or on T side rather. Nothing to actually talk short about.
Just to continue drawing comparisons to, again, that other game these teams played up, interesting to note is that it's the exact same two top fraggers for the side of Misfits. You know, putting sick to the top side. Whew. Words get hard after a certain time, Vance.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Sick to the top side, and then Amanek right behind him, right? So it's cool to see the top fragging roles of Misfits being, you know, shifted up between maps from Inferno to Cash, but it's really cool to see that, you know, it's those same guys taking the burden here. So whether it be roles, whether it be, you know, comfort here on Cash, Misfits clearly doing something right, because OpTic are just left grasping at barely any rounds. 4 to the board, and 3 of them all consecutive. That one single reset being the anomaly in gun rounds, and that was really the entirety of their half. So they have their work set out for them as they set themselves to the T side. It is Misfits to potentially close things out pretty early.
I don't know if you guys noticed that scoreboard, but HS only at 27.9 ADR on that first half. 4 and 12, understandable because he had to play rotation roles, but even anchored roles inside B. Very similar story as how we talked about how Sean Garris was lacking a little bit on the map like Inferno, but HS definitely needs to pick it up here on the T side, so they need him right now to try to bring this map back. It's going to be the piss around for the second half, and OpTic Gaming are setting up here for an execution at the A bomb site. So Freiburg, again, playing the support role with a smoke and a flash. Probably just smoke the cross, pop flash twice, and they'll move in and trickle inside A.
Got players just hiding to the corners, though. 6 trying to pull in the attention, so Devo can do that. Executes Olo immediately so. Flashbang blinds him up, trade frags found, but it does go the way of the CTs, because 6 dropping them one after another. 3 pristine headshots by Sick.
Can't take anything away from that. That's great work from how they set up that CT side for the Misfits. Yes, he actually baited himself out first, talking about 6, so he could fall back towards quad, where they're going to try to chase him down and get the angle in. They did not expect Devo Duve not even to play close towards that fence. He played an even better angle out in the open. That's why the paw flash should have came in a little bit earlier, just to make sure that the site is going to be a little bit easier to take for OpTic Gaming. But it's a little bit too late to use it for the trades, and Sig just played a one-man anchor at quad right after. This round now, full save for the terrorist team, so they could just try to trickle out and get the bomb plan inside A. And it works, because they played it very passively for the Misfits.
One of these moments whereby, you know, they were forfeiting the bomb site, so it seems like Misfits are content to come in with a retake and cleanly doing so at this point. It's only HS, but he steps into the fire. I'm sure they heard that, and Sean Garris refixates himself to clean up that frag. So, pistol the way of Misfits, 13-4. OpTic near empty-handed, but they get themselves the plant, and with the investment they came in with, that's better than nothing.
But that bomb planet was definitely needed for OpTic Gaming. You'll see them with full rifles into this round, so they're going to force up against UMPs only. Shazam actually even upgrades over to an AWP. So this could still be a good position now for OpTic Gaming to win this round and slightly reset Misfits onto the next. But Misfits, great pistol round, great second round, and even a better first half. So I don't think they're going to be intimidated at all from an AK buy. Even on top of that, you can see them. They're looking for an aggression towards the A main. Pop flash coming through. 2 guys blinded, and it's going to be Sick getting 2 more kills. But traded out by Matches Boy as he opens Squeaky. Incendiary grenade to force him back.
What?
But the bomb will have to fall back as it's going to get picked up here by Freiburg.
I don't understand how that smoke grenade was caught by the fire. It just, like, takes a 90-degree dip straight at the dirt. Blocks off Magis. Key retreats to join forces here towards A main, which is perfectly fine if they decide to group together and push in all side by side. They are going to have the smoke Molotov double flash. So I'm just going to assume that the smoke covers cross, the Molotov clears quad or fence, and then the flashbangs can be chucked towards truck while the terrorists cross. That's what I would do. We'll see if they do the same. Smoke molly, flashbangs to follow suit. The fence goes unchecked. There's the frag and the trade from Magisk as he clears out Sean, the bomb. Also now on site, but the issue's Amanek already coming in from the backside. Oh, nearly finds Freiberg, but Magisk goes high. Down he goes, and Freiberg left to clutch. Not meant to be, as Misfits move past 13.
Just a great retake there for the Misfits. Getting this defuse here right now. They're going to be able to drop weapons as well for those who can't afford on the next. So they're looking fine. That bomb plant, though, could actually maybe bring some sort of force for OpTic Gaming with the pistols. We've seen how well they've done on Inferno that previous round. Will they want to use it here? I would say so. Well, actually, at this point, it's 14 to 4-2. They don't want to play for the tie. They're going to go for the force buy here. And forcing these drops on the Misfits, they know it's still an opportunity to sort of reset Misfits again. So it's okay for them to go for this buy. They have very low utilities, a couple of flashes, not really any smokes with the exception of HS. So if they want to try to work towards this A-bomb site again, that smoke is only going to be used for that. But they're looking for that mid-control to start.
Denied a second time thanks to the flames of Misfits. Oh, poor HS.
Well, there's that smoke.
Oh, that's so discouraging as well. You know, he's crab walking around, throws the bomb to his teammate, and then just gets obliterated. Daviduvik finding another frag. Sid comes in with one, but that is, of course, Magisk with a 2K. Gets slightly tagged up thanks to the fire and will still plant his bomb, but that's going to leave the T side isolated on site. Mixwell towards Fork and Magisk on quad. Now, CTs to split on the retake with Sean over on truck and Amanek again coming in off of the flank, but the smoke grenade, that could convince Magisk to look away here. Amanek goes walking by, the feet not spotted, but yes, he sees it, takes the head, and leaves it all on Sean. 1v2. With Mixwell to the backside of the forklift, Sean's had enough. He knows better and decides to walk away. That's a round for OpTic.
That was basically that 1 versus 1 against Magisk Boy should have been won there from the Misfits. That would have turned around over for the Misfits to actually get that one. So the force buy actually comes into favor of OpTic. It works out. They still manage to stay alive here. Sean Garris salvages the AWP, and like I said, that's the opportunity to sort of break the economy of the Misfits right now. So will they save this? They can salvage the AWP, and they will. So you're gonna have a pistol buy. Shazam, who's been on point with the AWP, I wonder if they're gonna position him somewhere aggressive. He did have the back of the spawn though, so he doesn't have a chance to actually peek towards the A main or even try to go for an angle at B. So he's gonna play it more passively. Sorry, towards mid or A, so he's going to play it more passively at B. He's even playing that spot solo. Now he's being sprayed, too.
Oh, so ballsy from Shazam. He's going to make noise as he falls back. T-side just continue to spam these smokes. And then they, too, retreat. So, OpTic Gaming opting to go elsewhere.
That's amazing. Because Shazam made so much noise, maybe they thought that there was a stack from the Misfits towards the B-bomb site. He even fell back all the way towards tree. So if they actually did a smoke grenade for the CT spawn, B was open for the taking. But they're reassessed now, back to a default, trying to see if anybody's going to push aggressively for the counter-terrorist team, whether it be mid or A. Nobody has moved at all for the counter-terrorist team, so they still have a stack towards this A-bomb site. And it starts off with Amanek slowly soloing, the mid side, and he wins it against Magisk Boy. So now they're going to have to come back towards B, but Shazam's anchored now with the op. Op shot connects onto Mixwell. Execution from the rest of OpTic Gaming. He's burning down, and he burns to death.
Still the man advantage held onto because Daviduvik drops Alu. HS scrambling inside the site, fully blind in the open. But that confirms 2 players because the old Devo does it. Finds HS, leaves it all on Freiberg. He's got himself the op, but he needs 3 quick frags. They're starting to trickle in. And there we go. Misfits with a single op in the round, Vansili, somehow win things out and put 15 to the board.
and 2 players with no armor. And one of them was Amanek that got that first kill with the Deagle onto Magic Boy. So they set the tone, they set the pace. This is nothing like we saw from the Inferno side. Yes, they had some good rounds. Yes, they went to overtime. But when the overtime happened, they got totally demolished by OpTic Gaming. Now it's 15-5 against OpTic Gaming on their map choice. We're going to see a third map. There's no money left here for OpTic Gaming. They got 3 UMPs, a CZ, and an AK-47. The difference right now is that when OpTic Gaming battled back to bring this into overtime, they had the CT side. They had to let Misfits come towards them where they could get the kills. But now they have to set the pace. They have to move into the site, and they have weaker weapons to execute with.
Sick gives up his initial angle. HS charges through, slays Devaduvik, punches him straight into the wall. As Six able to catch Magis and find the 3v3, it's Misfits to the retake here on A. Smoke to the feet of Sean, and the bomb now in, thanks to Freiburg. But all of a sudden, as the terrorists cross back, Amanek does spot this. Molotov's gonna burn HS into the open. He should be slain. He's taking damage. Will find Sanctuary on the fort. That is a bit of luck. Shazam up close, doesn't need the frag because Sean takes his head. Now down to the 3v2, but health advantage belongs to the T side. Mixwell swinging out, goes down to Sean. It's all on Freiburg, and it's all on OpTic to bounce back in map 3 because Misfits have done it in convincing fashion. 16-5 here on Cash.
Great play there for the Misfits. Again, I said it was tough for them to take the A bomb site because they only had some machine guns, but it worked out. They got the entries, but after that, after the pulse plant, they had no utilities to work with. Misfits still had a bunch of smokes and flashes to retake the A bomb site because they utilized all of their utilities to just take the A bomb site for the terrorist team. So Misfits a little bit easier. Freiburg stuck on a 2 versus 1. Again, only a UMP, trying to go long range. Nothing you can do there. So a great play for the counter-terrorist team, for Sean and the group. And we're going to move to a third map, which should be Mirage, if I'm not mistaken. Now, at this point, though, I haven't had a chance to see OpTic Gaming or Misfits a lot this season. How do you think this is going to fare out?
So I'm actually completely 50-50 in this situation, all right? Hear me out. We've got Misfits on Mirage versus OpTic, a map that they recently played in the Epicenter qualifier just on the 26th of September. Misfits got dumpstered. OpTic won that game 16-4. However, OpTic in the ESL Pro League have also given up, high teens, I think like 14 rounds or 12 rounds versus to Complexity. NRG holds like a 16-7 win over top of OpTic. So it's a map whereby in Misfits' case, they've been wrecked here on Mirage. But OpTic have also shown struggle. So I really don't know where I feel at this point, Vans, because with Misfits just coming off of a hot win on Cash and a lopsided score at that, I think that this BO3 is completely in the air.
Yeah, lopsided score with even Freiburg getting sub 40 ADR. So him at 38, HS at 31. A very tough matchup for them on that map. A little bit of work so that they know that they have to work on Cash, at least for OpTic Gaming, but Mirage will be the next one. So yes, 50-50 at this point, but if they're giving 12 or 13 rounds to quote-unquote what we call lesser teams, I guess, with Energy and Complexity, even though Energy is doing quite well on ESL Pro League this season, it's still a win. So if they dumpstered Misfits 16-4 on Mirage, and they still managed to squeeze out some wins against these other two teams, we could maybe see a favor for OpTic Gaming. But we're going to wait and see for the map itself to unravel to see who's going to win this series and move on to the grand finals, which is going to happen after this. If you guys are just tuned in now, earlier on today was basically the Renegades versus CLG. Renegades had a great fight against CLG where they actually battled back on the first map to bring into overtime and win it, and then just basically get an easier win on the second map against CLG to move into the grand finals. So $15,000 prize pool overall for this weekend for the Cyber Gaming PC Extreme Series, and $9,000 for first place. I think it's $4K for second, so there's still a lot of money for these guys. Whoever loses this one, though, only gets $1,000. So this match is still crucial. Of course, not only to move to the grand finals, but at least to get a larger chunk of change.
And more importantly, Vansili, the prestige that comes with being the CyberPowerPC Extreme Gaming Series champions. Come on, man. That's what matters most.
That's true. The fall edition. Not the spring, as some
Yeah,
people
it's
are
true.
saying. It's the fall edition, boys.
In particular, the fall edition.
That being said, let's go into a break. We'll wait until the third map to start. But before we do that, make sure you guys check out the prediction contests and also the giveaways that we also have courtesy of CyberPowerPC and our lovely sponsors, Intel, MSI, CyberPower themselves, Western Digital, Best Buy, and Nvidia. So make sure you guys check out those websites. Do whatever you need to do. Good luck. And then we'll see you guys on the third map.
Gaming is demanding, and streaming even more so. We pride ourselves in knowing what it takes to build a perfect system.
I've been gaming and streaming my entire life. I do it because it's my passion. The one thing my audience appreciates the most is the energy I bring to the table. And when I bring energy, that's when I connect with my audience.
Yo, Rod again, thank you for the 10 months, man. Appreciate the resubscribe.
Yeah, I get excited about the little things, like cache and I/O improvements. We take a lot of time to make sure that every system we build maximizes performance. Now, with more cores and threads, the potential is so much higher.
So when I'm streaming, there's usually a lot going on. The last thing I want to worry about is my computer going down. Everything just has to work.
With more PCI lanes, we get a ton of headroom for graphics cards and SSDs. Intel's making it easy for us to give streamers responsive systems with more bandwidth, scalability, and overclocking potential.
To stay competitive, I gotta grind, I gotta stay sharp.
Gaming is going to be around forever, and we're always going to be there
We're always practicing and pushing.
until it's perfect.
Gotta get warmed up. Just give me some time. I'll loosen up. All right, baby. We back once a mother again. I'm Trick2G, and I'm from Virginia, and I'm a Twitch streamer. I played League of Legends for about 7 years now. It was something different. Before I played nothing but shooters, FPSs, and as soon as I started playing it, it was over. My role in League is jungle / top. Top lane, you're on your own island. And when it comes to jungle, you're free. The way I got into streaming, just stumbled upon the site, and League was blowing up at the time, and boom, I saw other people streaming, friends wanted to watch me. A typical day in my life would be wake up, shower, coffee, turn stream on, try to stream the whole damn day. If I didn't have to sleep, I would just continue to go. When I'm not streaming, I'm streaming. For the people that are trying to get into streaming, like any advice I can give you, I guess you have to be consistent, content, and just bring out that energy and just be you. I think the reason the phrase "let's go" became popular is because when it comes to getting ready to throw down in something, play the goddamn, I'm ready to go. That's when I get the blood loosened up, and boom, we throw down. Let's go! Shout out to Intel and CyberPower for giving me a beast-ass comp. You see what I do on the riff with the goddamn Becoming a streamer has changed my life. I guess you could say it's given me everything that I need. The way I got sponsored by CyberPowerPC was Cher. You know, at the time, esports was growing, and I was telling Cher about CyberPower, and she approached him. They mean a lot. They've, you know, given us so much product to give away to, you know, kids less fortunate to have some of these things, and I really appreciate that, and so does Cher. To all the fans that supported me throughout the years, I just want to say thank you. I love all you guys. I'm going to continue breaching GATAs. My name is Trick2G, and I use CyberPowerPC powered by Intel.
Welcome back. Third map now underway. The deciding map to see who will move on to the grand finals against Renegades. We thought it was going to be a coin toss, but it's going to be a knife round to choose the sides. So Scrawny, I'll let you take it, because this is how you made your magic.
We still gonna talk about that, Vans?
Of course, we always do.
That's true, actually. I don't think I can dodge it when I'm casting with you.
Yep.
That's okay. I'll stay true to my roots. Not that I'm gonna cast it, but just that we'll watch it.
Damn it. I was looking forward to it. But OpTic Gaming started off with the CT side. That's a good thing. For them, at least. After getting spanked on Cash, this gives them a little bit more confidence as they're able to take over the easier side here on Mirage.
Just for the sake of information, I'm actually gonna hold up. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up that map that happened on the 26th just to see how that one unfolded.
Sure.
Oh god, this doesn't look good. So OpTic started on the CT side, right?
Yep.
Misfits win their T side pistol, convert for 3 points, and win 1 gun round in the rest of the half. They swap sides after, and then OpTic pure win out 5 rounds T side. Done. Over. 16-4. Good night. Thank you.
Yeah,
so
it's also an opportunity for a map like this that they could run a double op setup as well with Mixwell and Alu. So CT side is going to be tough right now for the Misfits. Shazam has to come up big. But pistol round is now underway. Misfits starting off on the terrorist side. Devaduvic, Shazam, Sean Garris, Amanek, and Sick. For OpTic Gaming, we have Freiburg, Alu, Magus Boy, HS, and Mixwell. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see this pistol round.
Straight A-site flood. That's going to be Freiberg falling back off of Ticket. Of course, he's going to retreat here. Doesn't want to force this fight too strongly, just because, of course, they can come in for the retake. Again, he has the kit, he has the smoke, and he has Alu to support him. So even now with HS coming to join them toward CT spawn, we're going to have a 3-man push. But it's Shazam and Devaduvic to set the verticality of using that garbage can. Now, the fight unfolds. It's damage both ways, still no frags. And speaking of frags, the grenade pops. And as do the heads of the CT side. Shazam! Dropping everyone from that position and forcing OpTic to walk away. They know better, Van Silly. They're done here.
That's right. Just going to try to save your armor at this point. $650 for that buy. So the pistol round is going to be in favor of the Misfits. Basically what you called before. Can they save this armor as they're being hunted down? Even Matches Boy is looking for extra $300 if he can. But it's going to still end up 1-0 for the Misfits. Retake play for OpTic Gaming. Even utility plays for the Misfits. They actually had 2 guys buy smoke and grenades that actually made the wall of smoke on the staircase and the connector side for them to just stream inside the site and even continue to push to take control of the CT. You guys saw that. Then with the grenades, they actually damaged them even more by throwing them in the back of the staircase, knowing that OpTic Gaming was on that retake, and it just made it a lot easier for Shazam to connect with those block headshots.
Interesting. Magisk Boy with the scout and not Mixwell, but okay, he doesn't need a scout. Finds a deagle, blasts Shazam, gives him a taste of his own medicine from that previous round where he single-handedly held things off. So now Shazam's just got to watch from the sidelines as the rest of Misfits do take control of mid. They've left Devaduvic over in Palace, and so the eventual A-site split could shimmy through. However, it's going to be Alu to get aggressive, pushes in and dies. As Devo gets things rolling, Amanek boosted into the windowsill, and the CT's set to scramble. As even Freiberg could get caught off.
But Devaduvic's down to 7 HP. Amanek, even on top of that, gets damaged to 41. Nice 180 to get the headshot onto Mixwell, but Freiberg's still going to move forward. Connects with that second shot, or should I say the third shot, to get the kill. And that was no armor, and he manages to make it out of it with 100 HP. So he'll be able to pick up this MAC-10 while the rest of Misfits are moving in towards the top of Upper B, where HS does not connect anything, unfortunately.
Bombs in. Damage has been done. This is still winnable, but now it looks dire. Magisk Boy opens it up, catching Devaduvic. And only needing 2 more at this point. Sean Gares and Sick, both with rifles, both back towards Apps. Magisk walks forward, Sean lays in wait, and there we go. It is the conversion, but it's sloppy. 3 frags to the way of OpTic, that's something to be proud of.
That's right. You're forcing drops, but still a full save for OpTic Gaming. So we'll see. Amanek for sure should keep this MAC-10. And he will, so it's going to be the bonus round for him. He does have a spawn for A ramp if he wanted to try to spot for information at first to see if there's going to be a stack for OpTic Gaming towards A. There is, and then there's 2 guys playing towards mid side, and everybody's just running up towards Upper B. So they're asserting for this mid control, but they're going to be met up by a lot of people.
Still, vanilla USPs, this should be a complete blunderbuss of a round here. I mean, sure enough, Freiberg's got a flashbang. Maybe they could have caught in a single duel off guard, but with already this B site falling and the terrorists still sitting outside A, they should come up empty-handed.
The tapping with the MAC-10, so nobody actually went underpass for Amanek. I thought they were setting up for a mid-take, but they were just having the 2 guys pushing outside the B site. They clear it out, and he still continues to spam with the MAC-10 to get a second kill, being hunted down for the 3rd one from Matches Boy, and he still manages to get it! That's so much money right now. $1,800 in the bank because of those 3 MAC-10 kills. B bomb side is open. A bomb side is open. Mixwell flanking from behind. Only 4 HP remaining for Amanek. And finally, he gets dropped. But even there, Amanek did his job. Mixwell at this point has the MAC-10, but I don't even think that he's going to try to save it. Sick is even going to hunt him down, so I don't know if this is a good move for Sick. Yes, he is going to play against somebody that doesn't have armor, but if he watches the wrong angle, that could be an AK-47 salvage for Mixwell. And Mixwell hurt him. That's why you see him playing it very slowly. And there you go. Catches him. The bomb is going to go off, and the rest of the guys are a little bit too far. They could still manage to chase him up, before actually this bomb goes off. And at least, again, it's still just a Galil. And he's going to be able to save it.
That's a solid upgrade. I mean, $200 investment on the flashbang, and that investment doesn't do anything for Mixwell. That's just pure USP / Mac 10 cleanup. But, I mean, Sick going for the untradeable hunt, pretty costly. He loses his Kevlar, he loses the grenades he still held onto, and, of course, his gun, more importantly. But Aminex decided to keep the Mac 10. Yeah. That makes me worried for him, seeing as this round could immediately put the CTs in momentum. Alu opens up with a kill to Sean Gares. Mixwell can't connect with the Galil off of Cat, but Devaduvic's still fully blind. He's seen nothing so far in this round, although he does still stand. Aminek charging up to the bottom of the windowsill, could go for the boost because mid belongs to the T side. Misfits with 4 players all in position.
Shazam misses the whiff, though. Freiberg connects and punishes him, so that's already a 2-minute advantage. The Mac-10, like you said, very tough position to be in right now. Could still fall back and try to see if he can pick up the gun later on towards that mid side, but he's going to be the one that's going to try to find information towards B. Everybody's grouped up for Misfits now, and it's going to be HS just on the right side wall with his rifle, the M4, but he at least has support from Mixwell this time. Mixwell does not have any utilities to counter flash, so they have to set up for a great crossfire with the rifles that they have.
Mixwell gives up the angle, but luckily Aminek makes noise, goes barreling into the crosshair of HS. He wants more. He drops the bomb, and Sick's up next, taking back the trade, but leaving himself 1v4. And Mixwell's in position. Easy cleanup as OpTic are to the board.
And Sick knew that Mixwell was there. You saw him had that crosshair placement to just try to get the drop in the kill. But I think Mixwell saw that little sliver come through, so you saw him go for a little wide swing, or a little swing so that he could come out and get the first kill. So a great job for OpTic Gaming on that mid control. The op that was bought by Alu got the early pick by pushing aggressively on that connector side. So they're really saying, you guys can't take mid. We had it before when we had no guns, but now that we have it, you're going to have to play this slowly. So that's why they only have one guy lurking around at mid, but he still wins that fight. It's Aminek that gets the top of it against Matches Boy.
Shazam patient here towards ramp. He really wanted somebody to just come peeling to the top of the staircase, but nobody does so. Instead, Misfits now look to gear up into the A site, and if they hit it, it's the 2-2 split still in position from OpTic. Smokes to cover cross. Shazam opens up to Alu. Freiberg swings out from the smoke, and he's dropped by Shaz as well. The op play so far from Misfits has been on point. What damage can be done here by OpTic as they sit to the 2v5, and this round clearly in the pockets of Misfits.
Great entries there. At this point, the last two guys mixed well. And HS trying to save their weapons, but Aminek was still lurking inside T-spawn. Now they know where HS is at. You can see them already running outside the A-bomb site and splitting into different positions to try to cut HS and prevent him from saving his M4. Because at this point, they've reset the economy for OpTic Gaming. They want to reset it even more for preventing HS to saving that M4, and that's Shazam waiting at the bottom of the underpass. And it's now going to be Misfits taking the lead 4-1 with a potential 5-1 at this point.
So here's the one good thing about getting wrecked by OpTic just days ago here for Misfits, right? They have a sample of successful games from other North American teams versus OpTic to study. You can go see what Complexity did. You can go watch how NRG won their game. And on the other side, you can watch back your own match and realize why you lost. Meanwhile, OpTic, when they get such a convincing score of 16-4, what do they, really do with that kind of a VOD? What can you derive from such a lopsided score other than what we did worked? So I'd say that kind of recent loss actually plays into the strengths of Misfits if they took the time and opportunity to improve and change their style.
Well, if you're Sean Garris, you definitely did.
Exactly.
It shows a little bit right now. So what didn't work? What did he do that worked? And now he's countering right now. So this time now, full pistol round save for OpTic Gaming. Only 2 deagles invested for Matches Boy and for Mixwell, respectively. They are set up for a mid-control earlier on in this round with 3 guys up there. 2 guys posted up inside this B-bomb site. Mixwell boosted inside the site as well, so he can spot from the window side. So they go for this mid-to-B split. but it's being met up by AKs against pistols only, so easily overpowered for the Misfits. Matches Boy moving back here on the top of the van. Should be able to catch Sean Garris off guard, but he still manages to flick on time to get the kill. But Mixwell trades it out. His position's given away, and he gets dropped here by Devoduvic. So 5-1 for the Misfits so far. 2 rounds in a row. Nothing that they could really do there for OG, except trying to reassess for this gun round here.
Solid conversion point from Misfits. Obviously versus just those unupgraded pistols, it's exactly what you've come to expect. But they've already had substantial leads this series and still end up losing them. So we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. This is still round number 7, but it has been convincing from Misfits. We'll give them that. We'll see if OpTic have to dig deep, if they can come up with some kind of a solution, or if they can even identify the problem. Money was one of those issues, but as we get back into that full round loss bonus realm, it won't be moving forward. Op for Alu. M4s for everyone else, but more notably for OpTic, little utility. I mean, no smokes, no frags, no kits. I can see you talking, Vansili, but I don't hear you. Sorry if I interrupted you, but I don't think TeamSpeak hears you either. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, guys, it's just me and you. Let's get intimate. As Amanek.
Hello?
Find. Oh! Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, my bad. Let's go back with the action, though. Amanek's on that flank. He's going to be able to take down Alu. I was talking about how they were positioning themselves so far for OpTic Gaming, reassessing the opposition at the ticket booth, but they're still getting overpowered by Misfits moving inside the 8 bomb site. Now it just leaves on a 3 versus 1 situation. So HS, there's a smoke, or a gap in that smoke. He has nothing to work with. You talked about low utilities. They only had 3 flashes. HS has nothing. But a headshot connects at least onto Shazam. No kit on the board across for OpTic Gaming in this round. So he really has to move forward and move quick. So it makes too much noise, swings too much, and Amanek connects with the op for the win for Misfits.
And immediately OpTic back into the pistols. I mean, this is just so momentous for Misfits at the moment. And the reality of the situation is that was not a convincing round. Multiple gun duels there that ended up going the way of Misfits could have easily been swung back by OpTic. You saw the health disadvantage when, of course, HS comes in for the clutch. So that was close. Much closer than the gun rounds prior. And so, sure enough, it's a 5-point lead. Misfits show no sign of slowing down, but at least OpTic know that they've been closer than not. However, pistols, yet again for OpTic. This one should be a struggle.
Definitely indeed. At least they have the right idea to have that stack inside this B bomb site, right? So they have 3 players there, 2 guys pushed up very close again towards that A ramp. Again, the way that Misfits been playing, they took control of that mid side before of pistols versus AKs. It could easily get done here towards this B side as well. But that bomb is dropped intentionally towards spawn. They're keeping Amanek towards upper B just to try to see if anybody's going to peek out for some information. So he's making a lot of noise to start, but they have no flashes themselves to try to get that information. They have to go for body peeks or just play the angle. But now as they're trying to push forward, actually they're setting up for smokes, and Magic's Boy's going to catch him. He gets the first kill, even falls back. Freiberg swings forward and gets the kill. It's traded back, but at least that's 2 guys down, and Magic's Boy gets a 3rd one as Devoduvic try to come out towards that palace. And they say, screw it, let's move back towards mid and B, but they still kept HS there. That's a great round for the way that they went forward.
But this round's not done, because Amanek's got something to say. Moves up catwalk, catches HS with his head turned, and suddenly that bomb can find its entry in. There's a player already coming up from underpass, and Alu from catwalk gives himself up. He reveals his position, but regardless, sick plants. And that's still the man advantage to the CT side. Alu has to rush in because the flames will force him out. And Magisk with an AK starts to creep in. Mixwell as well comes in from apps. And if they can pinch, that's great. But now it's Magisk all alone. 1v2 with the T side near sight. back, being watched by the player towards the bomb. That's sick. Amanek makes noise. Amanek switches, and this is a big opening for Magisk. If he can't win the round, he can at least blow Sick up with this bomb or blast him with the AK. Instead, he's slain, and it is Misfits with another round.
That was a great crossfire setup for the Misfits on the post plant. Out in the open, and they watch each other's backs, they have full confidence that they're going to be able to land these kills. Because jumping out the window, you would have had the guy inside the site watching that angle, moving in from the upper B side. Mixwell had a great shot for the person that's out in the open inside B, but Misfits' counter teammate, or the terrorist teammate, was able to watch that angle and just hold it great on a 2 versus 2. Again, it was against a pistol and only an AK that was salvaged with no armor, but still, that's a great way to win the round when you're trailing so far behind from the way that OpTic Gaming played that pistol to get the first advantage at the A site.
Here's a little change up though. Double op setup, Mixwell and Alu. Players who have had tenures and experience as primary oppers, and now they'll look to combine forces. A fusion of AWPs here for OpTic. As Misfits task...
Sorry, you just brought up Dragon Ball Z in me. You can't talk about these anime things with an Asian guy, dude.
Yeah, I should have seen it coming.
But yes, the pause came through. They went for the double off setup. We talked about it before. What can they do here? Because the mid control is where they actually had the best holds, at least, for despite them only getting 1 round. But the mid fights is what works for them. Right? But then Misfits knows that they're executing towards A, and they're also executing towards B, where it's a little bit weaker. And now they're going for another lurk from Devil Duvik towards the upper B, and asserting this mid control. So what can he do with the ops at this point? It's going to be Mixwell, opping it, even a double op setup at mid side, actually. Alu's opping it from the window. I think he even dropped towards the underpass, yes indeed, while Mixwell can take control of mid side with Catwalk. So he gets the first pick. Alu's at the bottom, but misses the trade against Shazam.
Back into the 4v4. Numbers are equal, and Alu looks to come back in for a fight. Wants to pry towards the top of mid, where Shazam was posted, but now he lingers on Catwalk and tries to pry into the A site. Could use the Molotov to block off window. This buys time if he wants to continue to hold cross. Meanwhile, HSK moves around the market, and they've positioned Alu up close towards Apps. If the T side of Misfits can get close to him, they should certainly overwhelm. He does get forced back by the fire and the flash. Still looks for Shaz, and instead takes Devaduvik. Amanek, up close, is able to distract long enough for the trades to be found, because Shazam's going big with a 3K already and 2 targets to find. They're split. Freiburg to the back of market, Magisk on the flank. Who comes in first? And who picks up kills?
That is so hard to hold there for Alu on his own with an op. Yes, he connects with the first one, but HS was so far behind. I think he was still inside market. So wasn't able to come there to help him out, but at least Shazam gets a kill onto Freiburg. Matches boy again. At this point, you're looking to fall back. Shazam with a 4K on that round. And might not even have a chance to hunt back to get the ace. But at least that's 8 points on the scoreboard now for Misfits on T side despite all of that. So that scenario that we played through prior to this map starting, when they lost a pistol round and it converted from the gun round forward for OpTic Gaming, that's changed. Ever since they converted on the pistol round for Misfits, they lost the gun round, but after that they turned it right over. And then just, they're dominating this first half now for the Misfits. I think it's just mispositioning from the counter-terrorist team in terms of these setups for the trades. Again, that double op setup that we had, Mixwell had the first opening shot. But when he died, it should have been an easier trade there for Alu, but unfortunately missed that shot onto Shazam. And because of that, Shazam basically won the round for the team. Right?
Oh.
So, no!
Freiburg. He blasts 2 away. Sean Garris is able to trade. That one was up close. So the shotgun actually works, and Shazam even recognizes in alt chat. What a silly situation. But Hasn't gone too far just yet. We've seen Misfits in worse spots, and still they've bounced back, but Alu finds another. Sean doubling down with a 2K from ramp as he still possesses bomb, and 3 frags to his name, but Amanek lurks in mid. Just like Catwalk last time, he is the playmaker, but he hears HS. HS takes the frag, and that leaves Sean to clutch in a 1 versus 2 for the ace.
And you can see him just keeping his knife out. He's just going to run towards his B-bomb site. It's going to be an easy plant because of his teammate falling down. He knew where the last 2 players were. Staircase with the scout and the second one moving with the 5-7. So he knows that HS is also fighting now with an AK-47. Sean Garris even plans for himself to move towards the market side. He's going to hold the angle. HS, spot it. Down to 51 HP is Sean Garris, but 24 for HS. He's going to try to re-peek towards the window. Catches Alu trying to jump across. He knows that the last one was going to try to go for a setup trade. So HS, I think it misses pop flash. Sean Garris just kills him.
Garris is incredible. Not only as a leader, but a clutcher and a fragger coming to life in that moment. He has more frags in that round than the rest of the game combined.
But didn't we see HS trying to set up for an underhand throw with the X-ray, and I didn't hear any pop come through?
To be honest, I didn't notice. I was too busy being blown away by Sean Garris' incredible clutch, Vansili. What boggles my mind more than, you know, maybe what HS was up to towards the door is the fact that Magisk just comes charging up towards window. A, runs, knowing, of course, that Sean Garris was close. They spotted him to the backside of market. So you're thinking he's already posted somewhere nearby. And Magisk gets caught in the air, just plucked from the sky, leaving HS, the player who was already tagged down to very low HP, to trying with the clutch. I mean, that should have been inversed. Let HS die and let Magisk come in big.
Hopefully a moment of salvation right now for OpTic Gaming. They're going back with the double op setup. And this time the op is still at the underpass, and the other op is still up on Catwalk. Can they get anything with that? Misfits, once again, setting up for a control up on top of mid. Pop flash let him get across, and this time it connects from Alu onto Sick. And Mixwell, oh, I don't think he saw him. And now finally does. Shazam falls, and finally something works in their favor. But Sean Garris swings through the smoke, taps in a headshot with the headshot onto Mixwell, and makes it a one-man disadvantage for the Misfits.
Devo peeks out up close with a headshot onto Freiberg. And again, we're back to the 3v3. How many times has OpTic actually established a man advantage only to lose it out? Devo wants more, but Magisk stops him then and there as the CTs get themselves back into a 3v2, but I feel like a broken record. Every time OpTic get themselves something to work with, Misfits just clutch it back. And now Magisk has to wrap in through the apps and into the A site, where the CTs will need to retake. Terrorists with one man over on spawn, the other is beneath him. Double ops to the terrorists, though. There's the first to fall. Sean Garris underneath with the threat of the Molotov above, but HS comes out alone. Now he knows his Magisk has to swing, and Sean Garris hits him, but he's still alive. Sean finds safety, and he's still posted up with a Glock in hand, and 9 HP to sweep from Magisk, who's sticking this plant. He's on it, and he's down as the Glock bursts for the clutch.
Dude, that's 2 clutches for Sean Garris right now, and thankfully, even I thought it was crazy, because I think Amanek had an AK-47, right? And they're moving in on a pulse plant, and Amanek picks up an op for a double op setup on pulse plant position. That's so dangerous. He dies, but thankfully he was able to leave a molly on top. So he died from a person from Palace, and that molly that was thrown gives a chance for Sean Garris to just focus on one person and one angle. As soon as he gets the kill, he knows exactly where the last person's coming out. An easy clutch for him to come across, except that he actually legged Matches Boy, I think that was the one that was alive.
Yes.
And that makes it even harder. When Magisk Boy is still alive with 6 HP, it's still not over there for OpTic Gaming. Thankfully enough, though, with the time remaining, he had to stick the bomb, or at least from his angle, and Sean Garris got the easy pickings in the end.
Desperation starts to sink in as OpTic come in with a broken budget buy. Double FAMAS, Mag 7, bare bones utility in the form of a quad flash single Molotov. But Freiburg posted up again, looks to buckshot the chests of the T side, and Misfits, well, they're dangerously close. Oh, bomb is his, and the second frag as well. That slows everything down. He throws out the fire. Shazam burns in it and still able to get back to the 3v3. These are the moments that the T's have won before, but Amanek makes a lot of noise and Mixwell punishes that. Alu finds the next and down to Devaduvic, who comes into the A site with a flash by his side. He knows where Alu's at, but what's he gonna do about it?
Absolutely nothing. And I thought that we were going to be able to assert something with Freiburg. The last time he bought the Mag 7 playing close towards the A ramp, he whiffed a few shots to finally connect on that kill. But this time, that's 2 buck shots, 2 kills. Even the Molly, that's very gutsy from Shazam. And they had another 2-minute advantage that they lost. That's 2 rounds in a row where they were winning a 5-on-3 situation and still lose the round in 4. No, sorry. They won that round. I'm so stupid. But it's 2 rounds at least for OpTic Gaming. It's reset on top of that. So despite them, what, this is 7 rounds in a row that they've lost. The round that they win actually even resets Misfits. So that talks about the situation, yeah. 3 versus 5, 3 versus 4 that they win or lose. But Misfits always win the rounds with barely people remaining alive. So they always have to buy back. You look at it, 1 guy alive, 1 guy alive, 2 guy alive, 1 guy alive. So very low, given a chance for OpTic Gaming to basically build a few rounds in the last few rounds of the first half to hopefully get something done on the second one.
This is really going to be the silver lining for OpTic, right? They've been constantly reset before. But the fact that it is just pistols here and now, this is their chance to reestablish themselves, get up to that 5-point max. But the terrorists begin to flood. HS will be tested. Finding the first as Alu takes the second. The banger makes everyone blind. The sprays connect. It's easy.
Even a flank at the end. So a flawless victory for OpTic Gaming, continuing the economy. So if they lose this round here, they'll have enough into the last one. So a great job at least to, again, the silver lining, the light at the end of the tunnel. If they could capitalize on these last 2 rounds, it could help them out, building that confidence back on the second half. Mind you, I want to thank you, Scrawny, for not making fun of me on screwing up that previous round.
You mean when you said you were stupid?
Yeah, you're my homeboy. You're my homeboy, Blue.
I don't think you're stupid. I think a little confused.
Possibly.
And I think that's everyone after watching this scoreline. I mean, OpTic still with only 3 on the CT side of Mirage. It's lucky for them that they're able to get that, you know, anti-pistol round in the last. But, okay, it's not entirely luck. They were able to get close rounds, constant kills or whatever not. But if it was guns yet again for Misfits, then they don't have to just go charging into the B site with sheer desperation. We could have seen a potential second reset, because that's what happened first time around. And they were lucky enough to dodge it. They've got the man advantage. They've got Shazam down to 7. Mixwell towards underpass. Finds the first, only to drop to Devo. But Alu's posted on the angle. He wants blood. And Shazam might give it right to him.
Alu decides to jump out the window instead while they were going for that double cross to try to take it to mid control. And again, another 1 or 2 minute advantage that's given away on a 3 versus 3. So maybe that's why I'm just too used to seeing Misfits capitalize back on these low situations and still able to bring it back. Shazam only has 7 HP though, and you still have HS inside the site. But now he brings out in the open. First kill, second one stopped by Sick, and Devaduvic trades it back. So now it's a 2-on-1 situation in favor of the Misfit sides, where, like you said before, it was a potential reset, but at least they were able to win that round. Bomb is now down, 13 seconds left on the clock. Devaduvic still wins that 1 versus 1, and it's now 11-3. Last round to go. It's going to be slightly broken, because you have Mixwell at 3K, but the rest of them are fine.
You know, I was trying to paint the picture coming into this game that OpTic might struggle on Mirage, just for the sake of trying to create anticipation to a close series. And I thought we were going to get a score like this, but I sure as hell didn't think that it was going to belong to Misfits. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I mean, literally just days ago, we watched OpTic dumpster Misfits on Mirage, and they've come back as just a whole other beast. We'll see if OpTic can slay this beast as it sits to the top of mid. He's already found himself the opening frag. That's sick. Removed. And now the bomb's been dropped as he doubles down. But Aminek's got something to say as he finds the head of Mixwell. And the CTs maintain the man advantage for now. Again, how many times have we seen them in this position only for them to lose it?
At least they dropped the bomb earlier on with Alu with the op kill. So they were trying to go for that mid control. They're reassessing position. They're actually giving A. Because Magic's Boy pushed all the way towards T spawn, so they think that they're actually going back underpass to B, and there's only Freiberg playing there towards that jungle side. So he's going to have to come up big. They could go for a boost if they can as well, and thankfully Freiberg throws an incendiary grenade. They don't have Shazam. They have Shazam boosted, but he's not committing inside that window yet, and they wasted enough time for Magic's Boy to go for that big flank. So now it's a 4 versus 1. Aminek with the bomb. He gets the first kill onto Magic's Boy. 24 seconds left on the clock. He's going to have to try to act quick. Even at this point, he's going to have to start running. He's going to make a lot of noise coming in from the staircase, and I wonder where HS is playing. Yeah, he's going to hear him running. So the rotation's already going to come through. You see him look up with the crosshair. Aminek's going to move in, and even Alu picks him off with the op. And they are going to be able to salvage 4 rounds in the end when it looked so one-sided. Still is, actually, for Misfits as they take on the CT side.
Yeah, a CT side that will begin after we take a break. The advertisement inside of the halves is about to roll out, and the entirety of this minute will be allocated to trying to fix production. They're trying to identify the issue, and then after they do that, they'll fix it. So don't go too far, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the CyberPowerPC Extreme Gaming Series Fall 2017, and it's going to be epic.
My name is Trick2G, and I use CyberPowerPC powered by Intel. Let's go!
Welcome back. Second half about to start between OpTic Gaming and Misfits. This is the third and final map to see who will face off against the Renegades in the grand finals of the CyberPowerPC Extreme Series here in the semifinals. I'm Van Silly, along with me is Scrawny, and we saw a very lopsided half for Misfits starting off on the T side. Now OpTic Gaming takes the harder side. Can they turn it around? Not too well so far. If you're looking at the scoreboard, it's not so bad. 12 kills, 11 kills, 10 kills, 9 and 8 for OpTic Gaming, but they just can't capitalize on every type of man advantage that they're building on.
Yeah, if you just compare like from top fragger to bottom fragger 1 for 1, the difference is minimal here between these teams, but wildly enough, the score is incredibly one-sided. So it just goes to show how there were closer moments, but every single one of them belonged to Misfits. It's Connector that belongs to OpTic, though, as HS and Alu find 2 quick kills. It's Shazam to find only 1. And speaking of 1, it's Aminek, all alone, tasked with a 4-man clutch. Magisk posted on the angle. Duels of the USP goes the way of OpTic. They've got themselves a chance.
Yep, a mid to A split. Nobody really watching that mid side, playing it very passively. A smoke coming in from the AT side over to jungle had to force Sean Garris out of position to play a better angle towards the connector side. But as soon as he positioned himself, there was already 3 guys moving forward. So a great timing setup for OpTic Gaming, the way that they wanted to execute that pistol round, and they even build the AKs to start, just to solidify a lead if they can. On the other end, though, we have Deagles in the hands of Misfits, and the way that they have that confidence, that they're oozing that confidence, I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing some highlight headshot reels with the Deagles. So mid control now for OpTic Gaming. Playing it very slow for them as the bomb is dropped intentionally towards the back of mid still. A 5-on-5 situation as they saw a few guys to start towards the mid side. Like, okay, maybe they could convert towards the catwalk, connector, and window side. Even a smoke, a bad one, but for me, them to force a mistake from Misfits to try to get a peek from the window side. Nonetheless, though, if you're looking at this overhead view, or that mini-map, it's actually a 5-man stack for the Misfits up towards B, and that's exactly where OpTic Gaming is running into.
Oh no. Not like this. Devaduvic, Sick, and Sean. They started off with 4. Shazam and Devo again. The pistols on the bomb site, Van Silly. It works out.
Told you, the headshot reels, but even a better call for Sean Garris. I don't know how his mind works, but to be able to predict that these guys are going to move inside this B bomb site was insane. Even when you saw that slight overhead view from the camera work of Chaz, the way that they're positioned, they only have maybe one guy peeking up towards that catwalk to see if they're moving forward, but then one guy behind the pillar at Get Right, one guy at the van. They all peek one by one. The CZ's coming to work close range, the Deagles long range, and OpTic Gaming gets shut down, and they're going to be on a pistol of their own, and Mixwell gets the opener with the Deagle headshot. They line up 2 towards the jungle side, but it's still the AKs that were salvaged that takes the upper hand for the Misfits inside A. Their only moment of salvation is to try to get a bomb plant, but Amanek stops it, and it's 13-5 now for Misfits, and still no econ being built up from a bomb plant from OpTic Gaming.
The only thing that is worse than losing pistol to close out game is winning pistol and walking into the bomb stack. I mean, OpTic lost on this T side already. The fact that now they're down to Glocks, Misfits are going to establish 14. They're not going to even have any margin of error to play off of. This is potentially already over. We shall see, unless they can work some OpTic magic. Devaduvic on site will be tested. The bodies fly all around him. Sure enough, the bomb is in, but the 2 players stuck on site. Mixwell cowers to the side of the boxes as he's slain. Sick hitting headshots, and Misfits defusing bombs, as it is now 5-14.
It's really the only thing they could do. Going for full Glocks. Just wanted to get the bomb plan. Even on top of that, when an incendiary grenade was thrown towards the A ramp, Match's boy just swung out to try to keep the guy at Tri-Box busy, so the rest of them could actually trickle out of the palace and just get the bomb plan. They did get it. Moment of salvation. They have enough money now for an op, but no utilities for Alu. They still have what they need to go for an execution towards the A bomb site because they do have smokes, but they're working towards a mid control, and it's actually already stopped by a pop flash on the top of mid, giving a chance for Shazam to already set up at the window side with the AWP.
First frag belongs to HS, punishes the aggression from Sean, but that's information gained for this CT side that does start to rotate over. And OpTic Gaming, just like versus Pistols, are going to decide to commit. 3 players ready to receive this. As Devaduvic still at A. 2 quick kills. The rotation pans out, but the retake of the bomb site has started. Kazalu and Mixwell, they've put up a fight. Amanek up close goes down. That's the bomb to be planted. And Devo left to clutch. Back from market. Spotted already as Alu jumps wide. Creeps in and slays Devaduvic up close with the OpTic have an opening.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a kerfuffle there for Misfits, because you said it. They had a stack towards B. They read it correctly again. They did get the opening kills, but when it came down to them executing inside the site and getting the flat level battle towards the B bomb site, there was a little bit of confusion of where they wanted to position themselves. Even through the in-game chat, Sick apologized. He's like, I should have had a kill. Sean Garrett said a nice try. It just came down to how they had to win that fight, and it unfortunately didn't. So OpTic stays alive. They even continue on with an entry kill from Alu onto Devoduvek. That's a one-man disadvantage already for Misfits, with mid control, even close to A Palace. So you might see possibly a mid to A split, especially with Sick trying to surprise Magis Boy and stop with the AK. Alu running through the smoke, headshot onto Sean Garris with the op, and that opens it up. And now Amali moving forward. Alu even runs forward with the op, stop Shazam. These guys are just trying to assert themselves on the second half for OpTic Gaming. If they come out on top of this with a flawless victory, that confidence will really rebuild for OpTic Gaming. And Magis Boy is going to be the first to fall. Elise position given away, and Freiburg will stop it at 1 kill for Amanek only. And 7-14, still in favor of the Misfits overall.
I feel like one thing OpTic can just maybe fall back on is just letting their players go loose. You have such a massive lead that still belongs to Misfits that you can kind of throw certain moments to the wind. Let Alu charge out A ramp. Let Magis Boy try to pry in from Palace on just the MAC-10. Like, that's something that OpTic are generally going to have always in their pocket, is the advantage in skill. One would think, right? You look at these lineups and you say, as far as individual talent, the favor belongs to OpTic. And yet, when we come down to these, bomb site stacks and strategies being called, the team play from Misfits has been on point. But just trump the team play. Get wild. Get loose.
Get loose indeed. And now Misfits are on a full save. Only a Deagle for Devoduvik, Amanek, and Sick, and Magis Boy with that MAC-10 looking for that farm. And it's a nice start. Spots the second one here. 11 HP remaining for Sick, who does not connect with any bullets at all with the Deagle. That being said, though, that's 2 guys now spotted towards the A bomb site. One guy, I think Alu might have spotted him jumping across towards the CT spawn. That's why you see the bomb moving back here towards this B bomb site upper. And it's Amanek waiting behind the bench. Does not connect onto HS, unfortunately. And this should be an easy OpTic round with Devoduvik trying to save whatever his investment was inside the firebox. Okay. So you guys don't hear it. Sean Garris just talked about it a little bit. How can we actually win this fight against OpTic Gaming? They went for these pistol buys. They're trying to see if they could actually break the economy a little bit more. And now they say, okay, well, we have so many rounds up ahead. Yeah, nice shot from Magis. Still hunting down. That's 4K with them, with the MAC-10. But like I said, Misfits at this point, they just want to try to play a default. Instead of breaking economy of OpTic Gaming to potentially go for a series win with a low buy for OpTic Gaming, they're just going to play it the old-fashioned way.
Double op setup between Shazam and Amanek. As far as depth in oppers is concerned, you'd give it to OpTic. You'd give a lot of advantages to OpTic on paper, but it's Misfits that's giving it to them in server. Still holding on to this 6-point lead. 2 shy of a series win and a grand final with Renegades. Patient play from Sick and Sean. They both pried towards the top of mid and then have opted to walk back. But Alu, he finds Sick in the open, watches the cross from Devoduvik, and Shazam should get this call because Devo could have seen it as well. Now Freiburg's going to come in from connector. He's going to know that there was a player jungle. Down that man now goes. Devo removed, but Shazam still stands and decides to reel backwards. Good play.
Oof. Timing.
Oh, so close.
Well, the bomb is planted. Amanek at this point is able to get an op kill, but you can see it. They're just going to fall back and save whatever they can. So they did get an op kill, or they know that Amanek got the op kill. They know that Shazam is usually the opera here, so OpTic Gaming does have an idea that Misfits are now running a double op setup. But so far, OpTic Gaming hasn't changed their pace. They're still moving forward, playing very aggressively through any executions that they're doing. They're not playing it slow for a full man execute. You can see it's kind of like sort of individual from time to time. and it's paying off for them. Now they're just trying to hunt him down. They're not able to take down Sean Garris, unfortunately, who's trying to save his M4 up on Catwalk. But that's 3 guns saved here for the Misfits. Still a lot of money right now for OpTic Gaming. Look at them. They're at the 10K mark before the buy. Even after their buy, they still got plenty of money for drops for the next one. And they're slowly closing that gap against the Misfits.
Slowly but surely, they've worked their way closer. Double digits now up for the taking here for OpTic. Double op setup yet again. Same players, same guns, but of course the double FAMAS. Limitations will have to be overcome. The defense as well. There's the double op setup here towards the B site. Sean cleans up Mixwell as Freiberg finds the trade. Shazam and Amanek blast away too, and that's the man advantage. Freiberg towards site, taps the head of Amanek, and gets himself into the 2v2. The Flames will block the cross as Sham falls back into market. And things slow down, Vansili.
That's right. Freiberg threw that molly just to try to run that timer down, but also give a chance for Magic's Boy to move forward to help him out. Shazam rotated back towards the market, but he's not looking at the window for the upper B. So this is going to be a double take inside this B bomb site. You still have Sick that's holding it towards that window side in case they fall back towards A. Now they're both inside the market. Freiberg about to peek out, and that is the bomb down. So now Magic's Boy with 34 HP will have to try to clutch the 2 versus 1. Giving away his position right now as he mollies towards the front. Nate inside the market. That's not going to hurt anybody at all. Just a little tickle from the fragments of that grenade. As he moves out, headshot onto Sick. As he tries to go for the flick shot, Shazam stops him in his tracks. And Misfits are now at series points against OpTic Gaming.
Silver lining for OpTic is they still can afford this buy. And it's going to be Misfits that are left scrambling for cash. Coming into this after winning with only 1 player alive means their gun is weak. ×2 plus FAMAS. HS already to the bottom of connector. This is going to be a fast A-site split. The bomb on ramp's going to get smoked off. Devin Dubik stuck in the open, but HS goes down. Sean Gares doubling up towards jungle as Freiberg creeps in, executes Amanek, Magisk with a 2K, and the next man's down. It's all on Shaz. With an op in hand, 3 targets to find, and a T-side that can pump the brakes. A minute 15 to play, and they plant the bomb to the opposite side. Shazam can't stop this, but he could still clutch.
It comes down to the timing again as he creeps forward. Alu finally, and Magic's Boy actually jumped on the top of triple. I'm pretty sure he spotted him. They went for the double peek, and then they got the kill. So they stay alive inside here. It started off so well for the Misfits with Sean Garris with those openings with the UMP, but it's traded out from gunfires from OpTic Gaming to overpower the site. Shazam, as he's on that 3-on-1 situation, they mollied out the ticket booth, so he had to smoke himself out, so the position was already given away. So whether he was going to go back towards that window side or towards the ticket booth towards A, everything was looked at. So it was very hard for Shazam to try to win that and clutch for the victory. Now because of that, the money's reset onto the counter-terrorist side. They have no armor at all, and they're actually pop flashing to peek towards A main. The op shot is missed. Alu trying to fall back with the Tech 9. Another pop flash coming through, but Alu is not affected by that, so he falls back, manages to come out with 100 HP. Meanwhile, though, we do have a mid control from OpTic Gaming. One guy playing on the left side of the window. It's smoked, and they're going to move up slowly.
Another stack here inside connector. Could catch some kills. The T side gonna get popped by Shaz. He finds both. The Deagle is dirty, and Sean to the top side of the stairs, then traded back by Alu. So, a 3-on-3. Shazam with another. He had an incredible game on Inferno that nearly got Misfits the 2-0 series. And he's about to single-handedly crush OpTic here in the 26th round. All 3 of the frags belong to him. Now he has an op, and his teammates the AKs. Magisk and Freiberg both tees up, wrapping around. Magisk coming in with what will be a ballsy play. But if Freiburg goes down, then the sight's to the C side. There's the first and second. It's all on 6. And he too toppled. It's OpTic with another.
That is such a sick 2 versus 3 for OpTic Gaming. Yes, let's not take anything away from Shazam with his amazing deke shots to give a chance for his teammates to salvage 3 guns for a retake. But Magic Boy, as he walks across all the way through CT spawn with a bomb plant, when 3 guys are very close with rifles, you got to give it to Freiburg to play that very patiently and keep everybody focused on the default bomb box so that Magic Boy could actually come across and backstab 2 people. Great plays there, and that's how you play it calm, cool, and collected, even though it is match point for Misfits. Now Misfits are going to be on another eco, so that's a double eco coming in for them. At this point, the way that it's played, it could still turn over in favor of the Misfits. They're going back for that 5-man stack inside B that worked before. But OpTic Gaming are still asserting mid-control. And from the way that they're positioned on the catwalk, one at the bench and one at the bottom of the connector, could still be a chance for them to reassess back towards the connector side to A. Even the bomb's falling back from T-spawn to A, so... It's Mixwell. Gonna try to make a little bit of noise. Hopefully that from that molly he could push somebody out of position. But that's what I mentioned before. The way that they're positioned right now on the B bomb site, they never let themselves be known. Now Devaduvic wins that far from the Deagle at least, but it gives a chance to confirm for OpTic Gaming to plant towards the A bomb site. Magis Boy, easy. That's
done.
Easy.
Almost as easy as that flank in the last round. Cleans up 3 frags. Amanek still with just the pistol. 6 got the AK to save. But now that's 2 AKs here in the hands of Misfits. So a bit of economy conserved if these players can't stay up, and they should. OpTic to save their last 2, but move this to 12. It leaves me left wondering, Vansili, had the second round of this second half, right? That pistol stack onside the B site.
Yeah.
Had that not gone the way of Misfits, and then obviously the easy conversion, seeing as it's essentially an extended pistol win, gone their way, they only have 1 round outside of that. So far, at least OpTic on their CT side won 4 gun rounds. Misfits only have 1.
Yep.
So... man, that cluster of rounds right at the beginning from Misfits has really changed everything. And they could still let this slide to OT.
That's right. But the silver lining, at least for Misfits, from saving those 2 AKs, is that they could actually afford a double up setup again on the CT side, which actually made a good impact before. I think that was that single gun round that they won, but Misfits about to get caught. That's sick. Falling back towards the connector side as he gets legged. So he still stays alive for a bit, but a lot weaker. Amanek, instead of opping in the back of the B bomb side towards upper B, he's now opping up on catwalk while Shazam is on ticket booth. So that's 2 shots that were missed, unfortunately. But now OpTic Gaming get the entry. No, actually, Devaduvic gets the kill onto Mixwell. 15 HP remaining after that fight.
Amanek on the retreat from catwalk. So the CTs have attempted to clash on both sides of the map. And now Freiburg bounces back as he hates the head of Sick. Can they keep going, though? Because Devaduvic's in a big position, and he misses the opportunity. HS given a chance at life as he pushes up towards sight. But he's fully blind. CT's coming in already. Double off for the retake, and Sean only finds 1. So it is just the oppers. And they need to get this rolling. They've got no smoke to cover bomb. Frag and double flash both kits.
Oh, HS survives with 2 HP after that nade. They just tap the bomb, trying to force them out of position, but they don't have the right angles. So no shots are being done. Now both guys will have to save their AWPs, and they're going to try to save it towards CT spawn. Freiburg is going to hear them rotate across, so he holds the angle. Shazam waiting. Shazam wins the fight. And everybody else is way too far. So Misfits will survive with 2 ops. But OpTic Gaming only need 2 more rounds to bring this into overtime.
perfect time for a pause.
That's the last one being used, and at this point, what can they do? Salvaging 2 ops. Sean Garrett's had enough money, so he's going to buy up with an M4. Full of utilities right now for Sick. Now Amanek or Shazam at this point could maybe drop a FAMAS or something like that, and then Devoduvic could go with a full FAMAS by small armor if he wanted to as well. But you're right. These gun rounds are not coming in favor of the Misfits right now, Connor. Scrawny.
Don't reveal my identity.
Sorry. It's Scrawny CG. Like, you kind of like give it away already with your handle.
It's okay. Ooh.
I think from the way I'm looking at this, on how this second half also unfolded, is it turns up to Misfits sometimes that they get the man advantage. The same situation as we saw OpTic in on their CT side, and they can't capitalize on that 1 minute advantage. The trade seems so much easier for the terrorist team to do, to actually go for that clutch play to bring it back into their and swing it back into their advantage. But this time they're just trying to run out without really any smoke execution for OpTic Gaming. At least it's a trade that happens. Shazam got the opening kill, but now they're moving forward to just get a plant for the A ramp. And you see how far back they're posted after this plant. They really just let Freiberg move in on his own, get that plant, and then they're going to have to play the position for the retake for Misfits, but they have way better position right now.
They're so afraid of some kind of mid control here. Misfits, like, they've put all their attention in watching mid while that execution unfolded, and that's given so much opportunity for OpTic to fall back into the after plant already. Amanek does hold on to mid, but in the meantime, they've lost their teammates. Devoduvic and Amanek, the Frenchmen themselves, reel back, and they will save the double op, but we have gone the distance, Vansili. Round 30, set to begin, as OpTic find another clean trade frag by Alu, taking Shazam off of Ticket, and then allowing for his team to push up, but no, they lose one. Freiberg steals it away as Devoduvic's down.
Is this gonna happen? A low buy coming in for the Misfits right now, and HS. What I was going to say was when Misfits was actually going to retake the A bomb site, they at least had 3 incendiary grenades. So they could throw it all over the place to try to go for that retake and flush them out of some positions. They threw one at the fireboxes. It forced out HS, but HS still managed to get the kill on to Sean Garris from default. Now a hand was spotted. Alu, just before he gets blinded, connects onto Sick. Now they're pushing over towards this mid side. It's trade after trade and a 3 versus 3, and it's now a 3 versus 2 as Freiberg capitalizes on the kill. You still have one towards that palace, and it's going to be Magis Boy. Shazam is on his own with the op towards A, but they're now moving towards B, where Sean Garris is moving forward. And now that information is given away, Sean Garris is already up to TV, and now Shazam has to step up big here towards the A side, Scrawny.
He's so worried about the rest of the map, but he needs to focus on sight. He will see the smoke come pummeling over. Flash to follow suit, still holds an angle, but as he jumps, Freiberg takes his head, and that leaves Sean to clutch 1v3. OpTic Gaming about to bounce back from an 11-4 half. And Sean opens up already with a kill to HS. Now Freiberg's tagged. And Magisk hides to the back of the firebox. Sean goes high to the top of Tetris, over towards stairs. But beneath him is the frag. It is OpTic to OT. They do it yet again.
Scrawny. One gun round 1 by Misfits.
Yeah, that is, again, that is the difference, right? That second round force buy with pistols lets OpTic then play anti-pistols for 2 rounds. OpTic on their CT side never had that luxury. So even though both those CT sides were garbage, you know, Misfits definitely had an even worse time there. So man, and remember the overtime in Inferno here, Vansili. Like, once we started OT, it was just OpTic through and through. Like, no contest, no challenge. So everyone's going to have to sit back and be patient as the advertisement block rolls out. Thank you to our sponsors for making this exhilarating series possible. The comebacks unfold, and we will return after a brief break. So don't go too far. It's the CyberPowerPC Extreme Gaming Series 2017 Fall Edition.
My name is Tim the Tap Man. I use CyberPowerPC powered by Intel.
Let's go! Just before we start this overtime, though, let's take a moment to say that Match's Boy is at 30 kills with 102 ADR, really helping his team propulse on the second half to bring this into overtime. Now they continue to roll with the confidence from bringing this to overtime from 11-4 deficit and continuing on, hopefully, their spray on the T side. Double up setup already for the Misfits, and the pace is actually a little bit different for OpTic this time.
However, I'm already getting flashbacks to Inferno's OT, where OpTic came in like a machine, quickly dispatching Misfits with a clean sweep of the overtime. They've kicked it off already. Shazam's down for the count, plucked from Catwalk thanks to Alu. The Opper of OpTic prevails.
A couple of smokes here to give a chance for Mixwell to actually lurk around the connector. He even walks through the smoke at the staircase. Gets the entry into Devaduvic. That oozes confidence right now for OpTic Gaming. Sean Garris holding it towards the jungle side. The split comes through. The boost inside the window. Everybody's falling and dropping like flies inside the map of Mirage. Last man all ready to go on a 5-on-1 situation where Amanek already got the kill onto Alu. They know where he's at. The bomb is planted. They're already hunting him down. So Amanek trying to fall back and save his his gun at the underpass. In a better position this time because he doesn't have to face off against another Opper. But good luck, have fun to Amanek. End of the day, end of the line, it is OpTic Gaming setting the tone once again in OT.
There's no way he's having fun. There's no way Misfits are enjoying themselves after having that 11-4 lead stripped from their cold, clammy hands. But speaking of cold, things get hot. Freiburg burns alive. Amanek as well starts to burn to a crisp. And it's a barbecue in the underpass. 2 players survive at the end of it. OpTic upgrade to an op. HS chucks it over. And Misfits left struggling with money because they have to fully reinvest. And because it is MR3 10K, if they don't win the first 2, they shouldn't win the third. Limitations will be seen thanks to economy.
And also thanks to HS to pick up that AWP, saving a little bit of that 4750 on the cost of Aluri buying another op here. And they're playing it very aggressively to try to set a rotation up towards that B side. Nobody's rotated yet. You do have one falling back a little bit more passively. That's Sean Garris inside B. Matches Boy lurking on top of the Palace, and he gets the first kill onto Shazam. So they get the bomb back, and they're going to try to execute towards this A bomb side. Alu already walking forward, but you still have one at the ticket booth, and that's Devil Duvek. So he spotted him. Molly's being thrown, but Magis Boy, gets another entry, and they're closing in towards the A bomb site. Alu connects with the op shot onto Amanek, and already a 3 versus 1. Sean Garris in another clutch situation. Not even needed. Alu connects with another op kill, and that is 2 rounds down for Misfits, and no money on the third.
Alu's op has been so successful in trading frags, especially if you look back towards the later rounds of their T's half. Coming out of A ramp, just immediately catching players towards A site, and I mean, even here, right? He finds the trade frag towards the player on catwalk. He's just constantly trading players out, getting these picks based on information. He puts himself in a position to find impact over and over, and it's beautiful to watch because now OpTic, they've taken the fairy tale full circle. We thought we were going to get the Misfits upset. Instead, we get Misfits in desperation. Deagle for Shazam, CZs, as well as the umps, but very little utility and not a single kit. I mean, what a pathetic buy from Misfits, and it's not their fault. Well, I mean, it is. But 16K, not a saving grace today. 2 quick frags for OpTic. Both of the guns at that. So it is just the pistols to try and hold on, or the clean sweep from OpTic. One or the other.
The bomb is dropped intentionally too, and they're not even walking back to pick it up. They're just moving forward to get kills. Sean Garris gets the flank, but he lost his teammate Amanek at mid at the same time. Now they also spot where Shazam is, so they could just clearly run towards the B bomb site, knowing where the last 2 guys are. But the saving grace is that they salvage 2 AK-47s, make that only 1. Shazam falls at the window, and Sean Garris is stuck at A, already rotating towards the CT spawn. I don't think Alu even spotted him before, so Sean Garris could still get a surprise attack towards B. Bomb is now planted. Freiburg moving close. Flashbang. Nade. But Sean Garris only gets damage 3 HP. Alu on the backstab. Series point now for OpTic Gaming, Connor.
Yeah, I'm just going to predict that OpTic win this first round as well to the CT side, just like Inferno. I'm going to say we're going to get the mirrored instance. Because OpTic just seemed to have that ability. You know, I'll repeat myself when it comes to the ESL Pro League. They've gotten themselves into first position, but only by the skin of their teeth. So many of those games versus opponents that a lot of people would argue are of a lesser caliber. Complexity, Splice, NRG, Misfits, Renegades, always taking them to borderline wins, and yet OpTic comes out on top more often than not. The few losses they have are actually blowouts in the form of like 16-7, 16-8, and that's what we see in this series as well. The game that they lost was so one-sided, but when it comes down to grinding out wins, OpTic seem unstoppable.
But let's not take away of how Misfits played well on the T side as well. Although this is series point for OpTic Gaming, there was still 11 rounds that was won by Misfits on the T side. So they start off, the saving grace is that they could have full economy to go for that full buy, and the gun rounds where they had basically some disadvantages by 1 or 2 against OpTic Gaming, they could still always turn it around. Alu and Mixwell in this round here will still go for that double op setup. The way that they played it before that worked was that they posted both of them with the offside mid, and they're also doing the same thing again. So Alu watching the underpass, Mixwell on the top, and Devadovic is walking straight under there.
Poor Shazam.
Alu never chopped down, sorry. It was smoked out.
Gets legged up, sits to 16. Will continue to pry for connector. Of course, it's Freiburg mid-A site. He's got Magus pushed into ramp, so Freiburg doesn't have to walk backwards here, and he shouldn't. But, ooh, he gambles with the jump across, and he's got to be cautious. Shazam wants this pick. Of course, Amanek in an even bigger play position, seeing as he's been boosted into the windowsill. And Alu was so close, but he's already fallen off. Takes position towards Ticket, and might try to counter-op Shazam, because Freiburg now creeps back in the murder hole. And he's going to spot the cat push, but no, he lets 2 players cross. They have no clue this has occurred.
You got Mixwell there, though, on the top, opping towards Catwalk.
T-side starts to flood into the B-site. HS is in apps. Mixwell's down. Freiburg follows suit. Now it's on HS. He hears the plant. Spot sick. Takes the head. The second denied because Devadovic wins back round. Shazam finds Alu. And all of a sudden, it's on Magisk alone.
HS needed to hit that. But now Magisk Boy at this point is just going to look for exits. Saving grace right now, moving into the next round. It started off so well again. I think it was a 1-minute advantage to start for OpTic Gaming. I like their position that they had. The way that they push up towards the A ramp, they play for the double information towards upper B as well. They left middle out in the open and a lot of control for Misfits, and that I think was that small mistake in the end. Because Freiburg, as he went back towards that window side, you're right, Connor, he was looking back towards, or supposed to look back towards Cat, but he didn't want to go for the white peak in case there was actually a boost that happened inside the window, which actually did. But now, as the call is said by Mixwell, I connected with the first guy on Catwalk. He rotates over, and I think he made enough noise to give a chance for Amanek to get the backstab, and a chance for Misfits to get the plant inside B. But again, he had to come down for HS to get that second kill, which he didn't. It came down to a 180 flick for the bomb planter to actually get the kill and give a chance for Misfits to stay alive.
Misfits.
Hello?
Misfits. Already with a more successful overtime than on Inferno. They've gotten themselves a chance to work with, and they've gotten themselves mid-control as well. Gonna go back for the window boost, but Freiburg's wary of it.
Look how fast the flank is happening, though, for Matches Boy. He's already inside T-spawn, already got the kill onto Sean Garris. Now they know it's that mid-control again, but it's traded out by Devadovic, who wins it against Freiburg. Little did they know, though, that when he got the kill, they didn't know the bomb was there, so he has to fall back towards A, but he's already in a position to try to fight Devadovic. Devadovic takes the upper hand one more time.
Molotov blocks off spawn. Sick will find his plant. Mixwell now blinded by smoke, supported by HS. And they know this round is done, so Misfits have done it. They've gotten themselves at least on the cusp of double OT.
Well, they'll be able to save... Well, maybe not, actually. Shazam's moving forward from Catwalk. Off shot missed. Battle, and HS wins it. Now it's all up to Devadovic to try to hunt him down with 2 great entries to start on that mid side before. HS made his way rather towards the kitchen side. Bomb will go off, and it comes down and boils down to the last round again. Will it be double overtime? Possibly, because again, there's no money on the CT side with the exception of the salvaged op. But we talked about this before. The 30th round that brought it into overtime on Inferno was played around the AWP of Alu, who played it aggressively. This time he does have a spawn towards A. They have UMPs and M4 and a 5-7. But can they capitalize on the win? Misfits, knowing that they're low, are just going to go for an all-out push once again, and this time towards the B-bomb site.
Oh, playing aggressive and all-in in a very crucial round. There's no fallback. It's sheer commitment. HS going to smoke himself off. The flashbangs pop, and Misfits take the bomb site, but the CTs are still amongst them. Here comes Sick, executing the man in market as devastating trades, but HS drops the bomb. Magisk on the flank, down to the 1v2. Bomb in the open. Aminet close. And Magisk gets another. It's all on Sick! And double OT on the table.
It's not over, boys. I told you. The T side reigns strong for both sides. And Sean Garris literally says it. Man, our teams suck as counter-terrorists.
You forgot to include a word there, Vincily.
Yeah, family show, you know.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, now we're going to go back with Misfits taking the upper hand, playing on their side that they're actually content with and showing strong results with. So it's Misfits regaining the reins of this horse, moving on to the T side. Can I volunteer to play 2 T halves, says Sean Garris. And OpTic realizes it, right? They know that they're weaker on this B side or on the CT side. The double op doesn't seem to work too well on this double post up on mid side. Maybe they could utilize it if they want to go for it again for that split from the B side and on mid, or the B side and on A. Kind of like what Aminek was doing with the op when they had the double up set up for Misfits. He was playing all the way back towards bench to look up towards upper B with the crossfire set up from Sean Garris on get right. So even if he misses the shot, Sean Garris is still there to be able to play the counter flashes and also the nades and mollies to give a chance for, first off, Aminek to reload onto his next bullet, or the second one to reposition himself as a drop and trickle inside the B bomb site. So OpTic Gaming, if they want to play the CT side with the double up setup, I think they should try to switch it over as well. But looks like we will figure out, as we actually don't have... Yeah, that's true. We actually lost our observer. So we're waiting for a Sivo admin to come in before we could actually start the second overtime.
Wait, we lost our observer?
Yeah, we lost him on the... We lost him on the last or 2 rounds ago of overtime. See, our observer was so good you didn't even notice he was gone.
That we've just been back on auto director.
It's been a long matchup. It's been a long series, right? The first overtime went. The first map went into overtime. The second map went 16-5 in favor of the Misfits. Very one-sided map on their map choice for Misfits. But now they notice a weakness for both sides here on this third map, and it's a weakness of exploiting the CT side. Can they reassess? Can they readjust? Mid-game right now, the advantage at least for OpTic Gaming while we have this pause and this delay is that I'm a Pet is there as a coach. And he could reassess and analyze on the fly to help it out. Meanwhile, though, Sean Garris could do the same thing, but he's got the pressure of actually playing the game, saying what went right, what went wrong, and trying to call it at the same time. I still have to give the mastermind advantage, at least for OpTic Gaming, in this overtime. It's very hard as a in-game leader to try to call different spots on the go, while you have a chance now for a coach to really observe the whole matchup from a bird's eye view to reassess the CT positioning for OpTic.
Yeah, I think that Chet's inclusion with OpTic is actually going to be a really big tool for Freiburg to work with, right? Because when this team was announced, I thought to myself, like, the biggest question mark with the lineup, I mean, outside of who was going to be their fifth, was going to be
IGL.
Can Freiburg IGL?
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of unexplored territory for him. And having a guy like I'm a Pet in your ear certainly makes that job easier. So, again, I expected to watch OpTic find this series win, and hopefully Chet can get his opinion in order to work things out. But it is OpTic to the CT side, and it is overtime 2 coming your way.
I don't know if you noticed, but when they bought, the money went down to negative $47,000. I don't know if that's a bug when you're actually going for a buy here on OT, but that's a pick from Shazam onto Alu from a pop flash. who is trying to look out in the open from the ticket booth. Retaliation from incendiary grenades, up towards Firebox, up towards Sandwich. We haven't been able to commit yet inside the site, but the Misfits continue on with Shazam with another up kill on towards the jungle side. But Freiburg fights back into 2 versus 3. Shazam with another up kill and close range onto Freiburg. A 4K to say, listen guys, this is my effing game.
The ops from OpTic and Misfits have been crucial keys to success so far. I mean, we watched Shazam on Inferno near single-handedly carry them back into that game. We watched Alu yesterday just destroy Torqued in both of those maps. And again, on his T side, he was finding impact. So it's Shazam to come up big. And he looks for something yet again, but he takes damage back as Magisk spams the smoke. And Devaduvic starts to creep his way closer to the palace. Magisk playing very proactively here inside Palace. Not only applying pressure towards ramp, now getting dangerously close to the exit of Palace. 3 players committed from OpTic towards that A site, but it's Misfits towards B. Patient walkout could be the key to success from Misfits. Again, they're going to put Shazam up front, and he destroys the head of HS. Mixwell, able to trade already. Still sits inside the site. Alu covers the shoulder, and Sean bringing it back as he finds a frag himself. But Alu's grenade goes into the site, hits him down to 69, and we sit to the 3v3.
And a flank coming through. Magic's boy is on top. Shazam actually does not look anymore. And this could be a big round, but he flicks it on time to connect with the headshot on top of that. Freiburg and Ollie moving through. Now Freiburg, the last man standing. It started off so well to maybe get a victory finally on the CT side for somebody here in this OT. But now Freiburg is on low HP, spamming actually Shazam down to 9 HP, tapping it out, and Shazam still connects with an op shot in the face of Freiburg. And that is now going to be 2 rounds in this overtime. No money once again for the counter-terrorist team.
Yeah, that's 7 of these last 10 kills that belong to Shazam. So as far as overtime's considered, that's all his. Single-handedly. Again, finding the most crucial of impact here when it matters most. So 20 points for Misfits, and as you said, a broken buy on OpTic. Scout, Thomas, Ump, and a couple 5-7s. But it's close A-ramp control. Shazam denies it already. That's going to open up Palace for the taking. The T's could just flood out, but they're wary, they're worried, and they should be. As OpTic starts to rotate over, Freiburg on the stairs, and support from Alu towards Ticket.
Shazam's amazing. And that is now Misfits still playing it slow towards this A site, and Devaduvic gets the kill onto Freiburg as the smoke dissipates towards the Palace, connects with the second one, headshot and scout down towards the staircase. HS and Mixwell, last 2 remaining. At least are up already towards the connector side, and OG are going to try to move forward through this smoke to try to catch him off guard, and it does not work, rather. HS, the last man standing, almost here, coming to a close for a flawless victory, maybe not. HS gets the headshot onto Devaduvic, but the final result is that the tides have turned, and Misfits are back at serious point.
You want a 3rd overtime, don't you, Vincily?
I'm down for like 6 or 7.
Are we breaking records tonight?
Let's do it. Mind you that you still have to cast the final match, Scrawny. I'm okay. I'm done after this 6 OT.
Oh man, I completely forgot.
But yes, indeed, can OpTic Gaming win 3 rounds in a row on the T side? So when we talked about a reassessment from I'm a Pet possibly throughout this pause, waiting for Stevo Burns to bring this live, nothing happened. So Misfits at this point, all they need is to win 1 single CT round to move on to the finals against the Renegades. And the way that they do it is Sean Garrett says, let's push forward and get the opening kill onto Magic's boy inside the Palace.
Of course, right now they're playing that B-site retake because Amanek pushes on Cat. Bomb could easily walk right in, but it'll have to get past Shazam. Smoke grenades to the windowsill. OpTic seek to split. And Alu seeks to crack this site wide open. Ooh, that's big. Mixwell up close, deletes Amanek. Shaz still watches cross, but he unscopes and rescopes just in time. Man advantage to the CT side, and Misfits might just do this. Everyone close to sight. Freiberg kicks it off as he drops the op off of the defense, leaving only rifles, 6 of which in play. HS and Devo Duvik spamming smoke back and forth. This is a distraction, though, because it's all on the flank. Sean Gares throws the Molotov. There's the anti-peek. Freiberg traded back. Mixwell slays the next. Now it's on Devo Duvik. 1v2. He clears the cubby, but Mixwell takes the trade, and OpTic are here to stay, at least for another round.
I thought Shazam was going to destroy everybody with his position. From the way that he's been opping on this overtime, on that second overtime specifically on T side, they were comfortable for him to anchor the B-bomb side on his own. But he played it very passively. They played for that retake. He needed to connect with maybe a second shot to give a chance for the guys to move in and actually win that retake. But that initial kill they had, they changed that pace. They're playing that CT side a little bit differently. Now they're even repositioning Shazam to opt towards mid, so back to a 2-1-2. And this has been the bane right now for both teams. They give a lot of control on mid side. OpTic Gaming did the same thing. Misfits were able to take control of mid almost every single round of OT. And now Misfits are doing it again for OpTic Gaming. So what can you do with this? They have 3 guys in the back on the top of mid. They have 1, I think, under the window, yeah, and that's HS, and 1 inside the palace. So you can see from that minimap, it's a mid to A split. But Devo Duvik is holding it towards that firebox. You still have Sick. It's a double op setup, actually, for the Misfits, and he's opping it from the ticket booth. So the last 2 guys, Sean Garris and Amanek, are actually pushing forward towards upper B to get that information. But as they're so far out, if they're going to try to push towards this mid to A split, it's going to be very hard for them to go for the retake if they can't get any kills towards A.
Ooh, Shazam again. Finds an opening pick. 5v4 for OpTic to play off of. Can't go for the window boost, but Mixwell could just throw himself through it. Bomb will linger on ramp. Oh! Oh! Straight from the skies. Shazam plucks Mixwell right out. 5-4v3, excuse me, as Shazam will stay in smoke. Freiberg yet to cross, and Sean on another flank. Last time he gave it away. This time the element of surprise belongs to Sean. He comes out, stops it then and there. Magisk 1v4, no sir. Misfits with the upset. Topple OpTic Gaming in a double overtime bender. Vansili, it's done.
They finally did it. The Misfits, the Herd, hop over the green wall and will move on to the grand finals against the Renegades here at the CyberPower Gaming Extreme Series. $9,000 for first place, $4,000 for second, and this is what sucks. Despite such a big fight brought up for OpTic Gaming, they lose this one, and they only get $1,000.
Chump change.
Chunk change for them.
That's alright. Because it's all about prestige, and there's nothing wrong with 3rd, 4th place, Vansili.
But there's no prestige for being the Fall Edition champions of the CyberPower Gaming Extreme Series Championship. Fall Edition. But that was a sick shot from Shazam. The timing was, unfortunately, not there for Mixwell, as he was waiting for that smoke to dissipate to jump inside the window and get the kill. Shazam picks him off, and he has been the MVP of this map. I don't know about the series, because I totally forgot what happened the first 2 maps, but at least there, the way that he's played that overtime on Terra's side to actually help the Misfits propel to 3 rounds in a row on the T side, and actually looking at how he played the CT side for that single round that they needed and that they got. Shazam, man. Let's look at it. Only 76.5 ADR because he only has an op, but he's at 38 kills on the overtime. Magisk Boy on the other end did whatever he could. We mentioned it before, actually. Before the overtime started, he only had 30 kills. Or he was already at 30 kills. But in the end, I think he was at 36. So I don't think they utilized him enough, I guess, on the overtimes, unless the scoreboard was off for me. But I gotta say, it was all Shazam to actually help the team move into the grand finals.
Yeah, massive op play. And again, he almost did the same thing on Inferno, where we saw that overtime win go the way of OpTic. Shazam just, over the course of the series, had serious impact. And the map that he's quiet was Cash. I believe he bottom fragged, but he didn't have to go hard because we had Deva Duvik and Sick going even bigger. So with that being said, our semifinals are done. We're moving on to the grand finals of this tournament. It will be Renegades versus Misfits. It's going to be coming at you guys in 5 minutes. Of course, in that time, we're going to take a little break, take a little pause. We're going to swap Vansili out for Mr. Dust Moret, and then we will be back. But you better spend your 5 minutes wisely. Take this opportunity to head down to the links below or the one in chat. Make sure you guys enter in the CyberPowerPC giveaway, and also you still have an opportunity to enter in the chance of the predictions contest. That's right, predict the winner of this grand finals, win yourself some dope prizes, and walk away a winner. Something that OpTic can no longer do because they've gone home in what was a grueling BO3. 11:15 p.m. Eastern time will be the start of these grand finals. I will happily see you guys there after just a brief break.
Ming Lee.